Mr. Fox,
Hey Ron, how are you?
man, doing fine. How you doing, Steve?
I'm elated. I can't wait for us and the live chat and our the people who come on the video channel to video chat to talk tonight. But I'm real excited, and just like Tibbs said the other day, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So we have
Mm-hmm.
a lot of great things to get into tonight. How's
Yeah,
how's your
I,
day?
man, it's been a busy day. Busy day. Actually, I just jumped off. I said I wasn't gonna do nothing, but one of the guys on my channel asked me if I was gonna go live, and I was like, man, I said I'm gonna be on Freezy show. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do a live, and I was like, man, you know what? Guy asked, and I said, why not? Sometimes the best things are things that are not planned.
You got that right.
And I enjoyed all them guys. Joe Madden came out to support Latrell Sprewell and Guillermo, man, and so a lot of them guys, I told them, hey, come on over to the next show. Make sure everybody support this, man, because
I wish I was with you. Unfortunately, I've been out 3 times already shoveling. So
oh man,
it's coming down crazy here and up here in the New York, New Jersey area. And boy, I'm tired. I'm too old for that stuff. But I need to let my dog do his business, and now I'm here to do my business. So we'll wait another minute or so, hopefully, for some people to join us. But
I'm surprised Kevin ain't already here.
I'm elated for him. I know
Yeah, I'm happy for him. He was close in his numbers. He was very close.
he was. He was really close, and I'm. No, he. These are all kids. The one thing that hits me when we watch the interviews, they're really young. They're
Yeah, man.
so young, and we put so much pressure on them that the last, whether it's Knox, DSJ, I know we can be harsh, but I really, really, I don't want and I don't wish bad on anyone. So I like when a kid gets turned around and it just showed that Knox needs a point guard to make him get his spots, and we're going to go into it very shortly.
Oh yeah. Oh, quickly, man. I tell you, he is. We may have found our point guard, and I'm not. I know it's just one game. It's a small sample size, but looking at the way he played tonight tells me why he was SEC Player of the Year.
That, and also, I'll use DSJ as a comparison. He has unbelievable athleticism. And my gut's telling me with Quickly, this is real because so much of what he does is from up here.
You know what? And I brought that point up something similar to that. I said, for me, typically whatever position you're working on, whatever you practicing on is what you're comfortable with, right? So the last 2 years we've known DSJ to be practicing on his jump shots. I don't see any video of him running an offense.
Yeah.
So he's comfortable scoring the basketball. The best position for him is going to have to be at the two.
Yeah, the off guard, yeah.
But the problem with that is we're making Frank the two. So we can't have two backups too small. But then again, you could have two shooting guards, backing up RJ. But to me, it's apparent that's where he needs to be at that backup in the backup position. He don't need to be trying to play the point guard position. It's too much thinking for him. And
Yeah.
typically at that two position, you don't have to think as much because you're not responsible for setting people up. You're responsible to go get a basket. And that's what it looks like he's more comfortable with, just shooting the basketball.
Yeah. Quick shout out to my nephew, Patrick. I'm really blessed that I not only have a great nephew, but a really great friend. So during the game, we're going back. So it was really cool that we started off the game saying, we need to get Kyle Lowry, like you were saying last night. And we were talking Ricky Rubio. And by the end of the night, we were saying, hey, something? We may have our point guard here. And, but it's wonderful to have somebody that you're, getting feedback from or thinking about things. So again, shout out to my nephew Patrick, man. You're awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So we, like you said, it's the first game. And we're not gonna, but I think, ladies and gentlemen, we may be seeing the beginning of the Emmanuel Quickley era. And some of the plays that he did were just so instinctual. Very savvy drawing fouls at this age, and if you think about it from a shooting perspective, he was 1 for 6. He didn't have a great shooting night, but he had some smooth floaters that we'll be seeing. Did you see the angle on his cuts off the screen?
Oh yeah, and I'm gonna tell you what else got my attention was when it was one play in particular where he was dribbling, he was probing into the middle of the court, and he had Mitch on his hip, and they were like, it almost seemed like they were dancing, like they were conjoined. It almost seemed like they were conjoined at the hip, and he was methodically getting into the paint, and I was like, oh man, and he kept his dribble. That's another thing. You never seen him stop his dribble, and he kept his head up, like Guillermo said. He was focused. He knew what he needed to do. He's a guy you can look at him and say, okay, I trust him. I trust him. And he's not afraid. He's not afraid.
He's not afraid, and he brings a positive energy, man. The kid was amped up. You see him clapping his hands for his teammates. Let's get in D, communicating, talking. Yeah, and I think it's contagious.
Like crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man with the biggest smile in the United States at this moment, and all we need is for you to pick some lottery numbers for us because you're darn close, our friend.
I gotta give you your credit, man. I gotta give you your credit. Hey, you saw it when nobody else did. All I ask is that he continue to do what he did. That's all I ask.
I got 3 hours to state my case, and I since the game ended,
I'll be right back.
I've been listening to other people's shows and podcasts and what it is. So I'm waiting for Legion to come on here. Where is Gizmo better not be hiding from me. That's all I got to say.
Hey Kev, I get some of that with you, right? Didn't we ride together yesterday?
We was here yesterday.
We was
like Will and Martin yesterday.
Just real quick, hi Joe, hi Hector, hi Rob. Good to see you guys. Hi Day, man.
Hey, what's up, Steve?
Nice seeing you, brother.
Man, I am amped to talk about our game tonight.
Kev, what's up?
Great. So let's continue, Kevin. You earned this, so let it rip, my friend.
I'm actually watching the game again, and here's I don't know how I want to start this off because I don't want to come off like I'm feeling myself, although I should be feeling myself. How about this? Kevin Knox didn't do anything that I didn't think Kevin Knox could do or couldn't do. I'll put it like that. And like I said, I want a Guillermo to hear so I can say it to him. And Joe Madden too. Here's the thing.
Oh, they go Madden down there hiding in the corner.
There's Joe.
What did I say?
Because I heard y'all. I was. I didn't want to jump in anybody else's podcast. I'm like
hating on Knox yesterday.
No, you hating on Knox tonight.
And today.
And tonight after the game.
Yeah, he was hating on him.
I heard talking about Emmanuel Quickley. And don't get me wrong, because I'm gonna give Quickley his props tonight. But Kevin Knox let that come back tonight.
But Kevin Knox wouldn't have had the game if it wasn't for Quickley.
That's like saying what came first, the chicken or the egg.
Nah, he put Kevin in his spots to be successful.
Here's the thing about it, and I'll say this earlier. Guillermo had said he wanted to see Knox do something else, and this is what I'm going to say to that, and I won't pass. I'm going to let everyone else say something. We all know that outside of point guard, shooting is one of the Achilles heel, maybe the biggest Achilles heel of this team because it affects the spacing on the floor. And Kevin Knox is a shooter. So you want Kevin Knox to shoot the ball. And when he shoots the ball good, because Guillermo suffers from this long-suffering Knicks syndrome because we just all suffered for so long that we're just negative by nature. And so it's like, oh, well, he hit shots.
My guy. That's my guy. You know that.
But it's like, oh, he hit shots, but I want to see him do something else. It's like, why do you want to see him do something else?
Ooh, he came in right when you started talking.
Yeah, we're going.
Why do you want to see him do something else when you know he needs to shoot? He doesn't need to do anything else but shoot because no one else seems to be able to do that. So why would you want to take the one person who actually can shoot do something other than what the team is actually lacking.
Yeah, but what did Tip say? He wants him to shoot the good shots.
But here's the thing: even
And
the
he
shots
did.
he missed, Kevin Knox. I don't think in all 3 games Kevin Knox has taken a bad shot. He might have missed shots, but Kevin Knox has actually not taken a bad shot.
Well, I don't know about that in the first 2 games. I thought he didn't score up a few times, but just real quick for everyone, Kevin, 22 minutes, 16 points. He shot 3 for 5 from the field, 3 for 4. 3 from 4 from the foul line. He shot 2 for 4 from the 3, and 7 rebounds. Hey, it was a strong game.
Can I say one thing else? I would salute everybody in the chat who is giving me props for calling Knox's game tonight, because I see a lot of that going on in the chat, and I'd like to thank everybody. I couldn't have done this without Kevin Knox and his belief in himself. That's who gets the real credit.
Yeah. Hey, Day, what's your thought on? We're gonna start off with Knox. We'll get to Quickley, but let's stay with Knox. What's your thoughts on Knox tonight?
In the fourth quarter, where Quickley was in the game, Quickley did a good job of attacking the closeout and being able to kick the ball to guys. So that's where Kevin excels at right now in his catch and shoot game. And he had nothing but open shots tonight, and he did his job out there and he hit them. The only thing is that was against the third stringers. That wasn't. I'm just saying, it's fact. It
was absolutely fact.
Yeah. It's not done. It's not done. It wasn't done in the first half. He missed 3 wide open shots in the first half, which is fine. But I guess my point I'm trying to make is that Knox, he didn't show me something tonight that I could be like, wow, Knox is, he's looking good moving forward. I've seen this for him already. I have to see more from him. I have to see him do this more on a consistent basis. So those are my thoughts on Knox tonight.
Rob, how are you today?
What's going on?
So what's your thoughts on Mr. Knox?
Well, I'm happy
no
for
cigar tonight, Rob.
I'm happy for
No cigar, nothing tonight.
Nah, maybe a little later. Look, I'm happy for Kev. He picked his boy. I rolled with him. He did what he needed to do. And it all goes back to when a point guard is on the floor, people play better. When somebody can facilitate passes, it makes players look good. And like I said, the shots that he shot in the first half, those could have easily went down too. Mm-hmm. Because they wasn't bad shots. They just didn't go in.
Yeah, a couple of rattled out.
They start going in. And, I was looking at earlier today, they had an old Knicks game on with the first season that Knox got there. They played against Chicago they showed it early in the day. It was from his rookie season. And you can tell the enthusiasm and everything that you wasn't seeing with Knox from last year to the first year. You seen it. It showed itself this year when they got that young core together and they started playing. It looked like to a point that when they flashed the bench to JR, you could see JR was just like itching to get out there with them instead of the little crew that he was playing with. They had a look where they showed him right before they put him back in the game, which they already had took the lead. But yeah, Knox did good today. I want to see more. I want to see more of that.
What do you think, Joe?
I agree. I'm happy for Knox. Hopefully that gets his confidence going. I want to see him do it against an NBA team, not a Cleveland Cavaliers G League team.
Right.
So I want to see consistent, because we've seen this Knox before. He's dropped 20 and then he's gone down. So hopefully that just keeps going. I'm glad. See, that's the thing about Knox and all the wings of this team, include Obi Knox. They need a point guard. And point guard play is crucial in this league. And I think with a point guard, and if Quickley continues doing what he's doing, then that'll help Knox an awful lot.
Yeah. One of the things that helped us tonight was Sexton was out, Kevin Porter Jr. was out, Osmond was out, Nance was out, McGee, Kevin Love, Dante Exum.
Hey, I said this last night. Did I not? I said Kevin. Regardless of what I said Kevin Knox is not playing against anybody. If Kevin Knox does not take advantage of tonight, then he. I said. You can't say I didn't say.
You did. You absolutely did. I remember you saying it word for word.
Yeah. So Guillermo,
there's the main man right there. But is he coming in?
Yeah, he coming in. It looked like.
I'm already here.
Oh, how are you, Guillermo?
Yeah. So let me just help Kevin. This is the thing when you have people.
Please help me. This is what I'm doing.
Hold on a second, TL. You have something going on in the background there? Everyone, just make sure because we want to hear everything tonight.
No, I mean I just have a heater going on, but that's about it. I don't know if you guys can even hear it, but this thing with being fans of players, right? You can't see objectively, so you're here rooting in a meaningless game because we won and he had a good game, right? And again, development, confidence, I'm all for that. I've never, and I said this to you time and time again, right? If Kevin Knox can produce and do it better than the veterans, then yes, he should start, and he will start. If he can't, the veterans will start. I have yet to hate on Kevin Knox. The thing about it, and to A's point, we discussed this, right? The thing that you miss is that we've seen this from Kevin Knox before. Not to say we don't want it. We won it, and we won it more consistently. Don't get me wrong. But again, Kevin Knox is a guy that in the first half, he looked like trash. And yes, he has taken shots in the second game that he rushed. Like the one where he got, I think he got double team or guarded fairly well from the left wing, and he chucked up a shot. I believe it was an air ball. That's not a good shot whatsoever. So again, because you're delusional, you miss out.
Wait a minute. I have the game recorded, and I will go back to that second game and see. Yeah, I don't remember seeing one shot that Kevin Knox shouldn't have taken.
I'll show you. I got the notes. I'll point them out. I'll even when you're talking, I'll look them up.
Yeah, because I got the games right here.
Yeah, but you're delusional. You probably erased that. Just subconsciously.
It's part of a game.
You probably woke up from sleeping like you just erased it because anything bad about Kevin Knox, you don't see.
Yeah.
The thing with Kevin Knox
is that the glass half empty.
He shot well from three, right? And this is what you're missing from me, right? I never said what he did today was not good or positive. The thing about it is that with Kevin Knox, right? Yeah, you want your shooters to shoot well, but you don't look at Kevin Knox as just a shooter because you've said it many times, or you've implied many times that Kevin Knox ceiling is high, right? So obviously he's not just going to be a shooter. You want him to be a guard, a wing that can do more than just shoot, right? There are going to be games that he's going to dog. Like all you guys know, when your shot ain't falling, you got to produce offensively some other way. And what I would have been, and not to say I'm not happy with what he did tonight, but I would have been more impressed if Kevin Knox missed all his threes. But he got those same points from posting up, driving to the basket one-on-one, changing pace, and we still lost.
1-2 dribble pull up.
Right. I don't care about these wins or losses. I care about his development. What I'm scared about with Knox is that he may have a game where he's not hitting from three, and he's playing against starters the whole time, and he can't produce, which I've seen before. So again, I'm not here rooting against Kevin Knox. I just want to see a little bit more from him. But what he did with the open threes in the second half, great. And I agree. I think Rob said it. The threes he took, they were good looks. He just missed them, right? So, again, I just want to see Kevin Knox show me other wrinkles. So, when that shot ain't falling, he got another pocket he could go to, and he can have that same confidence where he doesn't feel like, damn, I can't shoot a three. I'm not contributing. You know what I mean?
My question is this, though, Guillermo. On this team, as currently constituted, you want Kevin Knox to shoot. Like, Kevin Knox is the shooter.
Right.
Regardless of whether you like it or not. As currently constituted.
I don't think we're arguing that.
I'm just saying.
You missed the whole.
I'm not missing. No. I'm getting to it. I'm getting.
Yeah, he getting to it.
I'm sorry. So you're saying it's good that Kevin Knox can shoot because we need him to shoot because nobody else can shoot. But I want to see him do more. And I'm not saying he can't. I'm saying in this game, and I'm just going by this game, you needed Kevin Knox to shoot, and it would have been great. If he had done, because he did do other things, led the break a couple of times, and I said this another. I don't know if it was last night or the other night when I said the ball moves faster than the man, and Kevin Knox is the only player on this team that when he gets the rebound, he pushes he passes the ball up the court. He is the only player on this team that does it. Everybody else takes it and they pounce and they dribble it up the court, but Kevin Knox is the only one that gets the rebound, turns, and passes it up the court.
So
Only one.
So do you remember in the first half
That's
when
IQ.
Kevin Knox dribbled onto the right side, right? He put his head down, dribbled to the right side, right? And it was a poor drive. He didn't lose a ball, but he picked up his dribble because he didn't have any place to go, right? In that instance, right? And I'm not trying to just nitpick on. I've seen it, right, where he puts his head down and just drives one way. I want Kevin Knox in that situation to survey that area and be like, all right, I know that guy's beating me to a spot. Let me take it back to my left and hit that little mid-range because he had it. If he brought it to his left, he had it. And this is not me trying to nitpick and say what he did tonight and within the context with which he hit his shots, right? In the second half. Yes, that's good. I'm giving him praise for that. But you're going to be playing against guys who, again, you're not going to be getting those open shots all the time. Now, when you get them, I hope you hit them. You have to do it consistently. But I want to see another wrinkle because if you want Kevin Knox to be anything but a shooter, he has to add another wrinkle to his game. He's not.
I would love to wake up today and find out that Kevin Knox turned into Paul Pierce. I would love for that to happen. But right now, I got to take this in steps. And the step one is Kevin Knox has to be confident in his shot. And once Kevin Knox is confident in his shot, other things from Kevin Knox will come. But for him,
where have you seen in both this rookie year and the 3 preseason games where you've seen another wrinkle offensively from Kevin Knox that we have not seen starting out? So I said that wrong. Like during his rookie year, he didn't develop anything else to his game. And then he mentioned about a post-up game. He also said, I forgot what it is to say he worked on with Obi and a coach, right? What have you seen where this guy's been confident? Because the first game, even though he didn't score as much, I thought he looked good, right? I thought he looked decent in terms of his movement, confidence, moving around. He made a little mid-range shot. And obviously today with the 3-point shot, right? Show me.
The first game, the first preseason game, he went down and called for it on the block twice on 2 back-to-back possessions. Scored one and got fouled on the second one.
He posted up, fadeaway shot?
Twice. Back-to-back possessions the first game.
Fadeaway shot? Was it post-up fadeaway shot?
No, and then he called it in the post. He stealed out, called it. The first one he drove. I'm gonna call it a hook. I don't really know what you would call it, but that's the first point. And the second one he had a little move and got fouled on it. But is that the fact? It's not the fact of what he did. It's the fact that he called it on the block. Is the thing.
Hey, 1 second. From the live chat, they asked for me to just recap again Kevin's night. 22 minutes, 5 for 8 from 2, 3 from 5 from 3, 3 for 4 from the foul line, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 16 points, and a +8. So let's go to TL. What do you think? Yeah. What'd you get from the game tonight as it relates to Kevin?
I think Kevin Knox shot the ball well, which is very important for a guy like that who relies heavily on his jump shot. Kind of to Guillermo's point, you want to see it more consistently just so he can add that wrinkle to his game. So when defenders start to give him respect and close out harder, he can hit like dribble pull-ups or maybe drive to the basket. We want to see things like that. But I do feel like a guard play kind of favors him because he'll get those open looks and start to build confidence as a shooter and as a player, and then he can keep building from there.
Yeah. Hey, Ron, you want to close out our discussion on? We know we can't have Mr. Wright on this panel without Kevin coming back later in the night, but for the for the moment, you want to just close it out that way on Kevin?
What I saw from Kevin Knox tonight is in the first half, he didn't look too good. The shot wasn't falling, but the one thing that was consistent the whole night, he was doing other things. I saw him on that rebounding board, just rebounding like crazy, like his hair was on fire. He even played defense tonight. I saw that out of him. And the shots that he missed, I didn't see no air balls tonight, Kev. They were good shots. They just didn't fall. You know what I mean, early on. Yeah. But I think what unlocked him was, like I said earlier, I think the fact that the point guard play, you can obviously see that him and Quickley have been playing together because the way they were moving together, you don't have that kind of synergy unless you've been playing together. And so my prediction is his game going to only get better, especially when Quickley on the floor with him. And I just want to continue to see that from him because we've seen these flashes from Kevin Knox, like to Guillermo's point, but we all just want him to continue to do that because if he do, this thing here gonna be strong because we just need one more player to show up because the two players on our team right now on offense that we know are going to show up every night, Julius Randle and RJ Barrett. We need one more scorer. Any team, you need a third competent scorer every night in order for you to have a chance to win every night. And Kevin was that person. If Kevin Knox doesn't score tonight, we lose this game.
Hey, Ron, but what do you think that this comeback came because of Randle not being on the floor?
Randle had already did what he needed to do. Tom took him off the court. And I think Tom recognized, hey, I want to see what these other guys can do.
Yeah,
and that's
like
what he was saying. He wanted to see other lineups. So, and plus, the energy was off at that first unit. They weren't playing the type of defense the second unit was playing. And shout out to Dennis Smith Jr. too. And I knew you were gonna get into him, but those young fellas, man, them boys look like they want it. And like I said, somebody might have called him and say, "Hey, did y'all see that article that Tom was talking about?" Because if I even heard something like that and I'm a player, that would make me step my game up.
Yeah. Well, there were a couple of things. Him working last night and stuff with Johnny Bryant. Since his problems with the trap the other night. But I was, we'll get into it. We're going to segue to Quickley now.
Oh, can I say one thing while it's on my mind? Something that Ron just said.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
And I'll make it brief. The energy has been off with the starting unit for the last 2 games.
True.
If this wasn't tonight, they were bad Sunday night too. The starting unit. So
that third quarter tonight was very telling of that starting.
And Dennis Smith Jr. has been at the forefront of that thing. I'm gonna tell you what. Do they have an award for most improved defensive player?
Had a great game defensively.
Because if he continue to play like that, he's gonna get most improved defensive player. Because nobody, if you were to say Dennis Smith Jr. in defense, you would laugh about that. But something Tibbs got into him, man. Tibbs unwoke him.
5 steals, two blocks so we got to give props to DSJ.
From your point guard.
Well, like you were saying, I think what we're seeing, he still had some issues running the team. Still a selection on shots. He came down, put up a couple of shots. You don't mind. You want him to get into a rhythm. But some were ill-advised. But on the other side of the ball, like you said, on defense, you got to give the kid some props, man. He played a great game. He was tenacious. Really, really, really happy for him. And I hope this confidence he can build on that. So,
and the thing with DSJ, what I saw when we talking about that defense, it wasn't no sporadic defense. That defensive effort he had, it was man on man, and that guy, I can't even remember the guy he was guarding. The only thing I remember that guy every time it looked like DSJ was just undressing him.
Yeah,
it was like, please somebody tap out, get him out of here. He was frustrated, and DSJ shout out to him.
So, Rob, what do you think of Quickley? We know it's one game, but tell us your thoughts.
Yeah, he played fundamental point guard. He was the fundamental. He protected the ball. He delivered the ball when it needed to be delivered. You can tell that Quickley is fundamentally sound, and at that low level, with just that, it changed like the complexity of the whole team. Just the little things he was doing. He was like, I want to see more Quickley. I honestly do. I want to see more of him. He got some long arms too.
I noticed that too, man.
6'8" wingspan.
6'8" wingspan.
In the stands almost. I want to see a lot more Quickley though. I'm not going to make a quick decision on him, but it looks like I went back and I looked at Kentucky and I looked at seeing what his stats was, and then I also looked at not saying he's Devin Booker, but the way that Devin Booker was hit in the Kentucky lineup until he got to the pros, because nobody knew he was like Booker was like the 15th pick, 14th pick. Nobody really knew of him like that. And the way that this guy was hit on Kentucky so far, I'm looking for good things from him. I got a good feeling about Quickley. I ain't gonna speak too quick.
Y'all
but I do
remember?
have to
Y'all
say,
remember Cal smiling when they asked him about Quickley?
they said you got a good one there.
Yeah, Guillermo, we'll come to you in 1 second, but just real quick, from a Quickley, a little over 24 minutes, shot 3 for 11 from the field, 1 for 6 from 3. He made both foul shots. We know he's a great foul shooter. 7 assists, 1 rebound,
How many
9
turnovers?
points. He had 2 turnovers
Yeah, that's good.
and a
That's
plus
good.
minus a plus 19. So just real quick again, shout out to the chat. Please hit those like, subscribe, and reminder buttons. Support our boy Freezy. He hit a big milestone, hitting 830 subscribers and climbing. Also, shout out to our mods, Bodega, Sima, New York Knicks. All you do is greatly appreciated. And Guillermo, take it.
Yeah, I thought Quickley looked good. To Rob's point, you know, he made fundamental moves. The 3 that Knox had, that was Quickley driving to inside the foul line and then dipping it off. Always having, the presence of mind to know where everyone was, right? And he also had, I think it was an alley oop, or I forgot what it was, alley oop, a pass to Knox, who was cutting baseline. And again, not to say he takes over DSJ, but for a guy who can do the fundamental things, right? I think that, and be able to shoot, he's doing all the things that we were hoping DSJ could do, right? And I think that DSJ, our expectations might be misaligned on him, but I think with Quickley, and again, Quickley may not even get more than 10, 15 minutes really to start the season, right? He may get like spot minutes here and there, but from what I saw, and again, he didn't shoot crazy, right? You always said 3 for 11, and
Exactly.
right, but he had the nice floaters. He was aggressive in his spots. Every time he drove, you never felt like he just put his head down and just drove to the basket. He was smart. He was heady. Again, a lot of his shots, I think those shots will fall in the future. So again, I liked everything I saw from him. That's not to say that he's going to be a world beater, but like I said right now, man, Quickley and Powell, I know Powell may not get any love right now from the coach, but some of these younger guys, man, you draft high floor, maybe not as high of a ceiling, but you have some of these higher floor guys. Higher floor guys usually have really strong fundamentals, man. They really have some of the basics that we've been lacking for a while. I mean, I know you're going to get to DSJ, but how many times do we got to see a point guard not be able to decide what to do when he sees a double team?
Yeah.
But Quickley, I didn't see it like that, man. And again, Quickley excelled against the C-list type players, or whatever you want to call them. But I never felt like that couldn't translate to a starting team where maybe you cut 50% of that impact just because you're going to be playing against better defenders. But I can see Quickley moving the ball around quickly, no pun intended, right? I can see him hitting the open shot once he gets them, right? I can see him, if we have a lot of pick and roll action, things to get space, right? He'll make the smart pass to the right guy. I mean, so all in all, man, like Rob said, I'm not going to go crazy over it, but I like what I saw. And, DSJ, that, like Rob was saying, that jet, the fuel is humming, man.
Guillermo, I love your analysis. You have such a great eye. And during the actual broadcast, our guy Clyde always has the little nuances that he picked up. And this is one of the differences that he picked up that's versus DSJ, that he gives for some of the lobs and stuff, he put the ball up there early. He didn't wait to get to a spot. And those are the things that you brought up, with DSJ, that he doesn't have that vision, that 1 second difference is the difference between a basket or letting a guy have a better shot. And it quickly seems to know when to give that ball up instinctually.
And Steven, just before you go on, can I just to throw a dart at Rob, right? Just to make an analogy, right? It's kind of like Aaron Rodgers and Dak Prescott. Aaron Rodgers, he's going to throw that ball for you. He's going to throw it
beautiful,
like where you're going to be. Dak Prescott can't do that. You know what I mean? That's why the Cowboys, don't matter if Dak Prescott gives you whatever, they suck. So
I can do it. Rob. I can do
it. I'm sorry, Rob. I had to, Rob. I'm sorry, Rob. I'm only joking.
Seeing our dog Donald can do it.
Aaron Rodgers the goal. Watch yourself. Aaron Rodgers the goal, man. That's another talk for another day, man. But I like what Quickley did tonight.
Yeah, TL, what's your thoughts on Quickley tonight?
I'm not gonna, say he should be the starter like a lot of these guys in the chat, yelling for. But I think it's a step in the right direction. He just seems to have a natural knack with the ball in his hand, and he gets rid of the ball a lot faster. Alan Hahn actually mentioned it post game. You see, when they set screens, they have to come over the top of screens for Quickley. For guys like DSJ and Effort Payton, they're gonna give him that shot all game. So just on that alone, that changes the dynamic of the offense. So once he gets the ball out of his hand and it starts moving, somebody's gonna have an open shot. And I think that as a positive. So, not to kind of get off topic, I kind of think that's why Effort Payton doesn't work with the starters, because it's hard to get an in and out game with Julius Randle when you can't shoot.
Yeah, we'll get into
So that
Peyton.
would be my only argument to start a dude like Quickley, just because of play style, not off of numbers or anything like that, just off of play style. And that's it.
Joe?
Yeah, I like what I've seen from Quickley. He does the simple things right. Just the fundamentals, the small things. And that's what I need a point guard. Like, as I said, I've been saying this for a long time with this team. You need a point guard that's just going to do simple things right. And I'm not going to get too high or too low. Like, it was a good performance against, yet again, like a Cleveland G League team in preseason. But if he just keeps going on the right track, I can see him over jumping. I think he's very close now to over jumping Frank. I think Frank at some point is going to be traded. DSJ, I think with DSJ and him, it's going to be kind of between the two of them for the backup. I think Peyton's going to keep starting, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. But I like Quickley. He looks good. He just needs to be a little bit more efficient with shot, but
Say that again, Steve.
I'm sorry. I thought you were finishing, Joe. I'm sorry. Are you finished?
Joe, go ahead. Finish up, Joe.
Yeah. You paused for a second, so I didn't know.
Finished.
Okay, cool. Day.
Okay. I mentioned this earlier. There's one thing from Quickley that you see as different from like a Franken and Kevin Knox. He looks very confident out there. You can just tell from the way he dribbles the ball, the way he moves without the ball. He looks like he belongs out there. And I think that's very important because that shows me that he's going out there and he knows what he's doing. So that's the first thing that caught my eye about Quickley. I noticed that last game too. A fun fact about Quickley is that he had the number one floater percentage in college basketball last year. So you're going to see a lot of floaters from him. And I think he made 2 of them tonight.
He did. Beautiful. Nice, smooth.
Yeah.
Nice touch.
The reason why, and maybe I did get a little hype, I was a victim of him as far as the PG is concerned, is because he looked better in initiating the offense and getting the guys the ball in the spots in which they need better than Peyton and DSJ. Now, granted, it wasn't against any opposing first units or rotational players, but it just still looked better. And that was something that caught my eye. And you know what's crazy? He didn't shoot well tonight. And you wouldn't not even notice from his impact.
Yep.
Yeah. I think one of the I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Steve.
No, it was like one of the announcers made a comment like what you just said, that he still had 9 points, that we could very easily see this kid hitting 15 points with his eyes closed once, the game slows down a little more for him and he hits a couple of his threes, that at the end of a game, very easily he could have 15 points in his rookie season.
Yeah, exactly. Wait until he feels comfortable out there, type of thing. Yeah, exactly. And the reason why I think he may become a little bit more imperative in the rotation is because, and I explained this earlier with Guillermo and the other guys, is that we have a problem. We can't have Peyton or DSJ in with the starting lineup because that's a starting lineup with no shooting. So now that's what Cleveland, they shrunk the floor in the third quarter and we couldn't score because nobody could shoot and nobody could break down the defense. So that's something that Tom is going to have to move forward and think about okay, I need shooting out here because I got to create gaps, in these lanes in order to better move the offense around and get Julius better in his spots, or maybe Obi better in his spots. So, but I thought Quickley did well tonight. It was definitely a great step in the right direction.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier that I was watching the game with my nephew Patrick, and first thing he said was, "Look at the spacing difference once Quickley hit the floor." He really aided spacing greatly. So, Kevin, take it.
Hey, I keep forgetting my mute thing.
Whoever watched the game on Fubu tonight, boy, they suffered.
Terrible. Man.
My cousin called me. He was like, "Yo, man, I need your passcode, man." My TV just blanked out. I said they must didn't pay MSG this week.
So, I'll say this. I'll say that in regards to Quickley, Frank pulled a bad night to have an injury. He was already on the bubble, and the last thing he needed was him to be out and Quickley to come in and look as good as he did. That's the last thing that Frank needed if he wants to have substantial playing time. And I'll say this, when Austin Rivers does come back, it is going to be a logjam. So it'll be kind of interesting to see who gets, the playing time. Because, you have two positions. You have RJ, Burks, Peyton, Rivers, TSJ, Quickley, and Frank for 2 spots. So if you're a guard, you better come out on your A game. Because, one of those positions, 30 minutes is going to go to RJ. So you better come out on your A game all the time. And
Alex Burke is going to get minutes too.
Oh yeah, he's going to be the backup to Knox.
So,
And
like I said,
I think Bullock might be minus some minutes after today's performance.
Oh yeah, he might be trade bait.
Bullock didn't look good yesterday, but people were hating me when I said that. He hit 7 points.
I forgot who said it last night. They said if he can't hit a shot, it's like, what is he doing on the floor?
Exactly. That's great. That's a great point.
That was me. I said it. Okay. Why is Reggie Bullock on?
Good call.
I was in the last night. Why is Bullock still in this game? Somebody get him out of here.
That's how I felt. That's how I felt about Elfrid Payton tonight. I was like, why is he still in the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was throwing some bricks.
I'm like,
some bullets rather not no bricks.
The thing is now,
to me, with a guy like Peyton, he just doesn't fit with Randle and RJ. Like, they're already ball dominant. Like, he's not gonna have the ball in his hands. So what does he need to be in there for? I think he'd be better suited with the young guys on the bench and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I'm get him involved right now again.
Our starting unit is trash.
And I'm like, why are we down 18 and you still got Bullock and Peyton in this game? Tip it up. If you don't sit them down,
Boy, Peyton had me laughing. Boy, I was laughing my ass off every time he shot. I was like kind of mad, but it was so funny, man, because he just kept shooting, knowing it wasn't going in.
It wasn't going in from the paint on the floaters. It wasn't going in on layups. It wasn't going in.
It looked painful.
Can I ask all you guys a question? I want to know your thoughts. Do you think having Elfrid Payton out there with Julius Randle kind of is what gives Randle the bad rap that most guys kind of give him? You know what I'm saying? Like, the bad things we see in Randle, the bad habits,
that's a good
can
point.
be due to lack of wanting to dish it out to a guy like Elfrid because he's not gonna hit the shot.
Ain't nobody never touched on that, but that is a great point.
Hey, look, you're 100% right. Randle was -9 because of Peyton. Because Randle played good, but he come up with a -9 because of Peyton. That's a good point.
Yeah,
but that's a good point, TL, man. Good point.
Better. Like Randle,
I'll say this about Randle. Even though he played
typical
1 second,
Randle.
keep going, Joe. Keep going, Joe.
Yeah, I was in the first game. Yeah, the first game he was kind of typical Randle ball hog. I think as he said was that Randle got a slap from Tibbs before the second game because the second game he started passing the ball, and tonight he looked good. When the double team was coming, he was passing it out and he was moving the ball a lot better. So I think Randle's coming along. what needs to help with Randle is getting Peyton off that floor and getting a point guard that can shoot. Because then you can open up that floor.
Or just somebody
and
can
then
shoot. It doesn't necessarily have to be a point guard.
Hey, was it me or it seemed
I
that
think the
Randle wasn't putting the bringing the ball up like the last couple of games?
No, that wasn't happening tonight.
Now I have the luxury of being able to watch the game again while we're doing. Like I'm literally watching it again right now. And
Me
just
too.
when
I
you
got
said
it
that,
right now, too.
I'm watching this the play that kills us. Randle
That spin move?
he's dribbling the ball up, and he did the spin move in the triple cover, and he fell down as usual.
Yeah, he spin into the third quarter.
And he had to jump ball off of it.
No.
Don't add a person, Kev. Don't add a person.
I can count. That's 3 people.
One standing there. He got to the play. He did it on one guy. He spent off of one, and he fell on the ground. The other guy came into the play. He didn't have nothing to do with it.
Yeah, you know what was funny though, and I'm sure
spun into another guy.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody did the same thing I did. How many plays where one was, I think, with Randle where he got trapped and the shots going out, and I think 2 or 3 times tonight. Who's the person that they kicked the ball out to? Peyton.
But you know what? And when you looked at it, because I saw that it was the spacing on the floor. It was bad on those plays where he was throwing. He had no other angle of who he could throw the ball to. It was Peyton sitting out there like he's a shooter. So that again is point guard awareness. He should not have been in that corner. He should have got someplace else. After he gave Randle the ball, he should have moved out, let somebody that can shoot get in that corner. Because he knows he's not a shooter. And then the ball gets in his hand, the clock running down. I saw that several times. And he taking up a 3-point shot where you know wasn't going in. To Rob's point, I was laughing myself. As soon as he shot it, he just turned back around and ran the other way.
You know what's crazy is that he had the opportunity to actually attack the closeout on the baseline a couple of times, and he chose to shoot the 3. And
just chose to shoot it. Just settle.
I have another observation.
To the point on Quickley, though, man.
Yeah, please take it.
Legion heard me say it earlier, man. And see, that was the position I played. So I can see whether or not you're a point guard or not. I can see it. And it don't take long. It don't take long to tell me you got a point guard or not. What I see from Quickley, I see a point guard. I see a point guard that can score his butt off. And the thing that was so beautiful in that, it was one play in particular that I loved. When he got the ball and he was probing, every time when he was moving with the ball, he wasn't in a hurry. It kept, and like to Guillermo's point, he kept his eyes up, and it was one play in particular where when he was probing into the middle of the lane, he had Mitch on his hip, and the defender was looking at them, and he didn't know who to go to, who to take. And like I told Guillermo, it reminds me of the RPO in football with the quarterback. The defender don't know who to take, and I'm telling you, man, that kid. And if you notice something when he came in the game, that's when Obi woke up. Obi was non-existent till he played with Quickley tonight. And no knock on Obi, because it goes back to the point that Rob always say, if you don't have a point guard, you're in trouble. And I'm telling you like this, Quickley is going to get somebody fired. Somebody's getting traded that's a point guard. I don't know who it is, but that plane is sitting out there in LaGuardia right now. The pilot's there. Them tickets, they're going to be like, please make sure you put your tray in the upright position. Somebody's going to parts unknown, and they can thank Mr. Quickley. And Tom, I think Tom was trying to hold Quickley out because he knew in his heart of hearts that Quickley is the best point guard on the roster. From what I've seen, of course, it's small sample size, but this is what, if you go back and look at how he played in Kentucky, mirror image. The same thing I say about Obi. That's why I'm not worried about him. Mirror image. Somebody's getting fired, and they can thank Quickley.
Yep. And go with this, Ron, because of your background playing on point and stuff like that. How much longer can they, meaning Peyton maybe 2 or 3, third team, but how much more can you go with a guy that can't even hit a floater, a layup? He's, we know he's tenacious on the D, and we give him props for that, but can't shoot for nothing. And it kills the flow of this team.
Well, I can tell you like this. He might be the person going. As crazy as some people might say that is, if you can't shoot, like we always say, if you can't shoot in today's NBA as a point guard, that's trouble. And there's no shocking reason why we've seen this guy bounce around. It's because of that. He's inconsistent. He had one good game, his first game, where he almost got a triple-double. Then these last two games, he looked like trash. He looked like trash. So when I look at Peyton, the fact he can't shoot, that's gonna get him up out of here. That's gonna get him up out of here. You can't have everybody. You can't have all your point guards can't shoot, and you already got
we're
one
stuck
with
with
Frank.
him though.
Well, it's $5 million.
Yeah, you're right.
We've seen guys.
But you know what?
Yeah.
You might can't trade him, but there ain't no. I don't think there's a rule say you can't cut him. You just say you can't trade him. He got a no trade clause. There ain't no cutting clause. Because we can eat that $5 million.
Put him on the end of the bench. You don't got to trade him.
Yeah, exactly. He could be just like you remember when I said earlier, Rob. I said he might be an emergency point guard.
Yeah.
They might have brought him back and say, "Hey, you're gonna be our emergency point guard. We want you to groom these younger guys." That's what he may end up being because Quickley, right now, is too good to be sitting on the bench.
Yeah,
he's too good.
And I think very similar to Gilchrist that he may be on this team for being in those tough practices.
Yeah, to help Knox and
drive those kids. Be tenacious, get them against that level coming up. But in the actual game, he's going to be the third choice out there. So, Guillermo, what'd you think?
Yeah, I think the point guard who's actually going to be, left out might be DSJ because again, Peyton, as much as he's not a great shooter, right? And we could talk about his fit and how he complements players. He's still probably what we have right now, probably the best facilitating point guard, right? Whether you like his game or not, it's just the reality of it. Austin Rivers is out. That's another guy's coming. We keep talking about Frank, and again, we don't know what Frank's going to be, but Frank plays defense, and he's shown that he could possibly be able to hit the three. Where DSJ, I know he hit 2 threes tonight. One was at the buzzer, then one was at the left wing or whatever, right? It's just, his play, it's just the point guard. He's just too lacking of a point guard that I can't really justify. When we play in team, we're not playing teams, third string players. When you're playing teams, legit starters, right? And actual good teams or decent teams, I just don't know where DSJ fits versus I can see a role for Frank as an off guard, right? So to me, again, Quickley played good tonight. I think he's going to get maybe 10, 15 minutes to start off. He's like Rob said, make the fundamental plays. But yeah. But I think I already answered on Quickley, so I apologize. I think I already answered. My bad, man.
Here's the thing about Peyton, but I was segueing into what do you think Peyton's role is going to be as we go on?
Peyton's role. Yeah, I think he's most likely going to be the starting point guard. We're going to have to eat those terrible games because again, as much as Thibodeau likes Quickley, probably he knows that this is a third string team, right? That Quickley did relatively well. I think he's going to ease him in there, but I don't see Tom Thibodeau trusting a rookie with starting because as much as this is beautiful, there are going to be games where people are going to be like, I put money on it. They're going to say Quickley sucks. They're going to say Quickley is whatever. Like we always do. No. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying
I get what you're saying, though. I get what you're saying, girl. Right?
So
growing pains, man.
That's right.
And Quickley, to me, has confidence. One thing I've seen with him is that he has confidence, right? He's one of these – he just looks like one of these guys has more confidence than some other guys. So I think that even if he did have a bad game – but again, you don't want him to start off on that foot, right? You want to build up his confidence. I think that Quickley is going to be eased more into playing off of the guards to be that space shooter, to hit those threes, and then slowly ease him in as maybe an interchangeable guard with Rivers, have them kind of both play because they're not truly both pure point guards per se, but guys who can hold the ball. So I think Peyton's role is going to, again, he can't be traded, but I think once Austin Rivers gets back, and it depends on Quickley. Look, if Quickley proves himself, you're going to see less of Austin Rivers. Less of Elfrid Payton.
Exactly.
You're going to need somebody to play behind him and steady the ship. Because say what you want about Elfrid Payton, he's a consummate pro. He has experience. He could trap a guy on his hip. He can throw the floater up. He can get the alley-oop, right? And we I know his shooting is so terrible, but sometimes we undervalue the basics that we have a point guard. Elfrid Payton was a good shooter. We'd be fine, but the shooting's just so bad that it takes everything out. But if you take out the shooting, Elfrid Payton's a decent point guard. So
Rob?
Yeah, Paul Peyton. I look at him like, he got that no trade clause though, but I've been doing some thinking when I was watching them put up them shots. We get 35 games into the season. Yeah, he got a no trade clause, but he don't have no we can't cut your ass clause.
Exactly. Exactly.
Or right, the pine clause.
Yeah, we can put you on the pine. We can make you request a trade. But he is little money. He can't shoot. He's off and on. And if it was like this is one thing that I noticed in the third quarter when Cleveland took that big lead. He didn't go to the basket until 2:50 left in the quarter, and he got a layup. That was the first time he went to the basket the whole quarter. With 2:50 left, he decided to go to the basket. When I seen that right there, I said, "Wow! If anybody can't beat him out, they suck." And then up pops Quickley.
Man, I love that kid's game, man.
And
Fearless.
I think it'll be I think that DSJ would get to the bench before him, but I think if they was to put Peyton to the bench, you won't see him no more.
Yeah. What do you think, TL?
I think Peyton, we know he's a backup point guard, career backup point guard. I get what Guillermo's saying about him being like the best, like pure point guard on the team as far as facilitation goes, but I just don't see the fit style wise with the starters. That's all. I don't think the starters need a facilitator. I think the starters need another shooter on the floor. That's what I think they need. I think it'll benefit them greatly. It'll benefit Randle. They could have the in and out game. It'll benefit RJ Barrett because it spaces the floor. And as far as Peyton being a facilitator with the bench guys, it'll get guys like Obi Toppin, guys like Kevin Knox, guys like Frank Ntilikina, get them going to get their shots going, build confidence in them. And that's just how I see effort Peyton.
That's a good point.
Yeah. DA?
I'm going to piggyback with TL, and we build with it a little bit, is that Peyton would be better served with the second unit. And because the problem with the first unit is that you don't have any shooting out there. So if you're putting Peyton or DSJ in there, every team that we go against is going to do exactly what Cleveland did in that third quarter. They're just going to shrink the hell out of the floor, and we're going to struggle to get points. It doesn't matter how good the defense is. If we're not scoring, it doesn't matter. So I think Peyton is better served with the second unit. I think he'll be good for those young guys. He pushes the tempo. He makes good decisions, especially when he's driving. So that's why I see Peyton at.
Hey, Kevin, we're going to go to you next just real quickly. Shot 23.5% from threes tonight. So
who shot that? We did?
We did as a team.
Boy, we being consistent.
The whole preseason. It's been
23.
Like
hey, look, that whole fourth quarter, I think Peyton put up about 4 threes.
Yeah, he brought them numbers down by himself. But, you brought out a good point there, Steve. I wanted to comment on what he said right quick. You know what? And we talk about Randle, when the point, TL, you brought up that good point, what you said about, is it possibly because of Peyton? Well, you just made me think about something. When it comes to Randle always getting them double teams, right? And them turnovers. And more often than not, the player on the floor running the point is Alfred Payton. So the reason why they're collapsing is because he's no threat to shoot from the outside. If he could shoot, they wouldn't be collapsing on Julius like that. So, yeah, get him out of that lineup with Julius, and it'll be better. Go ahead, Kev.
But you even have that problem with RJ if RJ's on that strong side with Julius because teams will dare him to shoot.
I think RJ going to be okay.
That same issue.
I'll make this point, observation, that the only person who willingly gives the ball to Julius is Alfred Payton. Like everyone else, it seems like they just cringe when they have to give it to Julius. Like, I don't think RJ ever wants to pass the ball to Julius. I mean, he'll do it, but it's like, Why you don't know who's open right now? It's like I think the only one who willingly gives the ball to
Boy,
Julius.
you hard on Julius, man.
The only one who only gives the ball willingly to Julius is Elfrid Payton. So Elfrid Payton is always on the same side of the court as Julius is.
But I tell you, I saw Julius give him a nice pass tonight for the score tonight.
Yeah.
I saw that.
It's actually not true because to some extent it is right, but when Julius is in the right spot, RJ has no problem giving him the ball. Like when he's in the proper spot down low, when he's moving into the down low spot near the restricted area, I've seen these guys have good chemistry. It's just that he keeps his stupid butt out on the freaking perimeter at times. Even I'll say Randle, I know we haven't gotten there yet. I thought he played a good game today. I thought
Me too.
Offensively, I thought I was like, if he does this every game, right? And unfortunately, because stupid Fubo cut the damn game off because of signals, so I couldn't see the spin move that he had. But outside that one spin move, he did have another turnover, but the turnover that I saw him have was actually within the context of the game, right? He tried to pass it to the foul line. I forgot who was there, but the Cleveland Cavaliers stole the ball, right? So, but it wasn't like a bad play. It was just they got, maybe it was a little sloppy, but it wasn't out of the rhythm of the game. So again, I thought he had a good game today. He had that still maker, which is like a cherry on top. But Randle, when he plays the right game, he's not a bad player.
Yeah. Hey, Cameron, we're going to come right back to you. You're going to start again on Randle, but just a quick shout out, salute to the chat. Hope everyone's well. Please hit those like, subscribe, and reminder buttons. We're at, I think, 831 right now in subscribers. Congratulations, Freeze. We've got to support our guy. Also, shout out to the great mods, Sima Bodega and New York Knicks. Your efforts are greatly appreciated. And also, don't forget to check out the Knicks Morning Drive. Hot show this morning, Guillermo and Chuck. That was like a cage match, my friend. Great stuff. So, but I also think Chuck was taking a little too much credit. I think you did some damage there. He was going for the body, but you were going for the right hand. So you take it, Guillermo.
I don't understand. Like, why you're comparing Hagler to like Hearns, like what I mean, like dogs. I don't know what points he brought up that word. But anyway, Chuck he's a lost cause. I'll destroy him another day. But just again, because people try to make it seem like I hate on guys. It's like, nah, it's not that I hate on Randle, and I know he had the -9 or whatever.
Just real quick, thanks. Let me just do that as a baseline for everyone. Randle, 28 and a half minutes tonight, 7 for 10 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3. He had 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 18 points, and like you said, he was a -9.
How many turnovers, Steve?
He had 2 turnovers.
Yeah, he was solid today, man. I even a -9. I mean, obviously that could be a little, it is what it is. But just offensively, I watched him and I didn't feel like he took us out the game. And he had the pass to RJ Barrett down low. Damn, I forgot I'm missing another pass that's like in my head, but I can't remember when exactly it was. But I watched him that he was moving the ball, hot potato out on the perimeter. When he was on the perimeter, he was moving the ball out around. He was in a post one time, passed it to the right wing. When he was open, once he turned around on the I won't call it a spin move in the post. And I said, why does he do this every freaking game? Like, dogs, that 18 points, that it wasn't out of the rhythm of the game. It was good. It was solid.
He was on the floor with Peyton. Which Peyton's minus? Steve?
Peyton was a -7.
I don't.
No, Julius did a great job of being in the flow of the offense today. It just wasn't him and Peyton.
But let me say something to Rob real quick. But Rob, we've seen him even when Peyton has not been in the game and he's there. He'll make some boneheaded plays, bro.
But he played good today, though.
No. Not today. What I'm saying to your point is that it's not just Peyton.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But today, again, I'm actually more mad because I'm just like, why couldn't you do this before? And yeah, I get it. If guys are missing shots, let them suck. It's on them that they shouldn't be sucking, right? And then sometimes you can try to be aggressive, try to make things happen, but more times than not, try to make the right basketball play. Because everything he did today, outside the the turnovers, the one turnover, because the other turnover he had wasn't outside of the realm of bad. It wasn't that bad. It was just a little lazy. Everything was beautiful. So
Well, the only thing that I saw on the only thing negative possibly on Randle's game was he was holding the ball, man. That 24-second clock every time he touches the ball, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You just see the seconds just coming off that 24-second clock. But I don't know what Tibbs said.
In the first quarter? Sorry, Steven. Was it the first quarter? Because I got to watch. Literally, I have to watch the whole freaking game again because stupid Fubo messed up my first quarter.
I noticed a lot of his possessions throughout the game. So that he just holds that ball.
Really?
I don't know what Tibbs, though, said in the locker room at halftime, but the ball movement was much different starting that third quarter.
Okay, I'll definitely watch the first half because I thought, and again, me and Rob and State, we missed so much of the freaking first quarter. So maybe I have to go back and watch it. Well, I will go back and watch it, but I guess maybe the second quarter when I saw him, and then the parts of the second half, and then the second quarter where I saw him, I was just noting down good positives from the ball movement. But I'll believe if you said he was holding it, I'll go back and watch it. But
what do you think, Rob?
My cousin missed the game. I didn't have foosball. He did.
all right, man.
My cousin had that. I had MSG. I had to give him my code.
Hey, y'all know what's happening Friday night, right? We play Friday night, don't we?
Yeah.
Knicks on Friday night.
Oh, it sounds like a Holiday Inn lounge every time I hear that song, man.
Hey, I like that song, man. Hey, y'all gotta get on me, man. But I like that little jingle, man. That little jingle song, pretty good, man.
Listen to that song, it just reminds me of losses. Like I always associate that song with losses. Like he plays it every Friday night, but it's like every time I hear this stupid song, we'll lose.
Did you say lost?
30.
Did you say lost?
Yeah, we always lose when I hear him.
Yeah, you're right. We know we do lose that song, but the song be fire, but we take a loss.
we take like a 25-point loss, and I still have that stupid. We gotta get.
They played good on Friday night last year. They was about even. They won both of their games on Friday.
I'm gonna look at the splits. I don't believe you, Rob.
Yeah, we probably did. They probably won about half on Friday.
Steven probably got the analytics on that.
What? On what?
When we play on Friday night, and that's all playing how many games we win.
Yeah. Hey,
I'm gonna look this up right now, man. Yeah,
hey, Rob, you want to take it a little more? Anything else you want to add on the Randle? Your observations of Randle?
Yeah, Randle did all right today. I'm gonna leave him alone.
What about UTL? I think you're on mute, buddy.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go again.
Yep, you're back on mute.
Yourself.
Yeah, you back on.
To be sensitive.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Good?
Yeah, you good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let it rip.
Good? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. As far as Randle, he had a good game. I like to see Julius just make less mistakes. That's my only problem with Julius. It's just less mistakes. Everything else is fine. You can't ask for anything more than from a power forward than to give you 20 and 10 on a nightly basis. I just want the mistakes to be limited, get other guys involved, and I just think it goes back to Elfrid Payton, man. I just think he just doesn't fit with Julius Randle on the floor. Because when you feed him inside, 9 times out of 10, the guy that's going to double is going to be Elfrid Payton's man. And you're not going to dish it back out to Elfrid to shoot it because he can't. So I think Tibbs is going to have to take a long look at that, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a change coming soon.
Yeah. Last year, Randle had 65 of his shots blocked. And I think a lot of that has to do with the drop-offs that Peyton gave to him. That
tight space.
Yeah, there was a tight space, and he had no other choice, and we know he doesn't have hops. So, but hopefully we won't be seeing that. So, day 8?
Yeah. Randle. I don't know, Steve. I thought in the first half, Randle did a good job of being within the flow of the offense and not dominating the ball too much. I thought in the third quarter he started getting back into his bad habits, especially when when their deficit started increasing. But besides from that, I mean, defensively, I always think he's a mess. Like, as far as playing off ball or picking up screens or helping out weak side, he's always been a mess. And I saw the same type of things tonight as well. So I mean, that's not too surprising or shocking. But I like the 7 for 10. What did he said he had? 3 assists and 2 turnovers.
Randle had 2 turnovers, 3 assists, 5 rebounds.
Yeah,
4 for 6 from the free throw line.
4 for 6 from the 3-throw line. 0 for 2 from 3. 7 for 10 from the field.
Overall.
Yeah. I was concentrating on the assist to turnover ratio, which is pretty much been his whole career. That number, he's at 3.3, 3.2. So, I don't see Randle being on this team for the rest of the year. To be quite honest,
I can agree with you on that. Because at some point, Obi gonna take over.
Let me ask y'all a question about that. If Obi takes over, right? Why we have to really just trade Randle? Why he can't just back him up and we accept that?
I can accept that.
It's not that
Will Randle accept it? That's the thing. Will Randle accept it?
He doesn't really have a choice because he's under contract.
Well, that's the thing. He does have a choice.
Listen, how many people with choices and people under contract become malcontents?
Exactly, and they force their way out of there.
He he don't make enough to force his way. That's a bad look at any other team. He's not making $40 million.
A lot of players make bad decisions, man.
But I'm just saying, I don't think Randle is a professional. They always say that. They always quote him on his professionalism. But look, he can be a part of the team. Everybody think that if we don't have a starter, we got to trade you.
No, I don't think I would love him in the second year. Actually,
Randle came here last year, and they anointed him like the captain. This is your team, and you the star player. And he did that. He came in, did whatever they needed to. How would you feel if you lost your job to a rookie?
I didn't lose my job. My check's still here.
If you were the starting power forward, and you got this used car salesman sold you this car, and you realize that, man, this is a lemon, and now I got to ride the bus.
Hey, Kevin, the check is still clear. Either way.
Okay, so let me ask you a question, because this has to do with Randle. How many wins do you think we're getting this year?
I'm going with 30.
I still
damn
say
it, damn man, wow, 30? Okay, who else?
I'm going a little more than 30.
No point guard.
What's the question?
One will come.
We got one.
Okay.
Either one coming now. That jet gonna bring one
Square
in.
Garden is like the field of dreams. If you believe it, they will come.
Field of dreams.
So Ron's Ron's at 30. Who else?
I'm out in the 30 range.
I say about
Kevin at 30. Wow. Okay. Who else is at 30?
I'll tell you why I got 30 there. Last year we finished with what, 21?
21 last year.
We finished with 21. We didn't have no coaching.
And that was 66 games. They had 21. I can say, 28 to 30.
Yeah, I'm going 29. It's funny you said that.
That's why I'm going 30 is because we didn't have no coaching last year. And even though the talent ain't great, it's better than what we had last year. The roster is more conducive compared to last year. We just had a bunch of power forwards playing point guards. So even Wilder, what was the guy Wilder? What was his name?
Yeah, Wilder.
What's the guy? Portis. Portis at time thought he was a point guard trying to bring the ball up. So I mean,
no, I got it.
That thing was so messed up.
I got you.
We had coaches getting fired, front office guys. This year is more stable. I'm thinking we're gonna get 30. We shouldn't lose. Put it this way: we should not lose no more than 42 games this year. If we lose more than 40, think about it. If we lose more than 42 games, I'm disappointed.
If you're looking at 30 wins, it's possible that we might be hunting for an 8th spot in the East with 30 wins because it's only 72 games.
Because we're going to play defense, and that's another thing. We playing defense this year.
That's probably the 10th spot. You got to do that play-in. 30 games.
We'll get in the playoffs with 30 wins.
Well, I still think the key factor is what a lot of you guys touched on is we really were playing with we were playing against second-rate team tonight. So we'll get about a week from now the first game against Indiana, and from there forward we'll have a much better idea when they go against elite NBA talent
and I
on a
personally
nightly
think we're
basis.
going to be at I'm sorry, Steve. I thought you finished. I'm sorry.
No. Keep going, Dave.
Okay, I was just saying that I just think we're gonna be at that 21-20 win. And I'm saying that if you guys are shooting for 30 and a possible A spot, then Julius Randle is staying the whole year. If that happens.
Yeah.
Like
Hey, one other
Julius.
thing.
Happen.
I ain't messing with Julius as long as Julius keep playing the way he been playing.
And one other thing, Julius, did you notice on a timeout him talking to the kids?
If you
So he gets a lot of bad rep on stuff, but I watched on a timeout he was talking to the kids on his own, talking about pointing to stuff. So he's doing some good stuff.
And you know what else, Steve? To his credit, man.
They don't like him.
Another thing with that kid, with the exception of that first game of his career, this guy always show up to work, man.
Oh,
he don't miss games. He don't miss games.
Yeah.
He's in the lineup.
The reason why I'll contradict that is
what you say, Legion?
I said some people might not think that's a good thing that Julius Randle doesn't.
Hey, I want somebody that know going to show up. I like Frank. As much as I like Frank, Frank is like the gingerbread man.
Frank is his opportunity. I will say that.
He's brittle as 90-day dishwater.
Hey, look, the $130 million man done got hurt already.
For real?
Yeah, his finger.
Yeah, he broke his finger, his pinky.
He's day-to-day, though.
Shooting hand? Is it a shooting hand?
I think
Right
the
hand,
left
yeah.
hand. I think he said the left hand. Right hand.
How the hell you break?
Oh, he's in trouble.
He broke his pinky.
That's trouble. That's the shooting hand.
They have him day-to-day, though. It's just a
Mike probably cussing right now.
Yeah, no, it's a fracture. He fractured his pinky.
Yeah, that's a break. Fracture means is broken.
And I think Jordan didn't. They kept it on. They hushed it, didn't they?
What is it,
It was
did?
He fractured the fifth metacarpal in his. They didn't say pinky. They said he fractured the fifth metacarpal in his fifth finger. And I'm like, you could have just said pinky.
Against Toronto.
Boy, that ain't good.
That's a good point, Kevin. I mean, hold up. They kept it from Jordan?
No. I think they didn't announce that he did it. This probably happened a few days ago, and they didn't announce it.
I'm gonna pull that up.
So while you do that, let's go to Joe. Joe, what do you think about Randle?
Randle's getting better. I just want to say one thing. You guys think if you guys take a win in more than 25 games, you're high off your ass. Look at that team. Look at the roster. Who we beating?
Agreed.
Our starting unit couldn't even beat us. No, I'm saying 22, 23 at best, unless the trade's made. Because we struggled. Our starting unit struggled against the Cleveland Cavs team with the three best players not playing. And we had to beat them. We had to put our young kids in to beat their G League team at the end. Yeah. If that was a regular team game, we were getting wiped with Kevin Love, with Sexton. We were getting wiped out. We would have lost that game by 30.
Oh yeah.
Listen, I got told you the other night.
Unless there's some sort of trade to get the team better, we can't win more than 25.
Like I mentioned the other night, there's going to be times I think a lot of wins are, whether this is a good or bad statement, there's going to be times where teams have their best player doing load management against us.
True.
Good point.
So those are games that we can steal.
That's bad if we have to win games that way.
Hey, a win is a win.
Well, that's bad.
Exactly.
I don't care if it's good or bad. As long as we get that, there's two. Like I keep saying, there's two things that matters in sports: the win column and the loss column. You can win by 1 or you can win by 50.
Yeah, I was talking to a friend of mine. Just 1 second.
Wins don't mean nothing. If that gets us to like the
meaningless wins don't mean anything to fans who want a high draft pick. Meaningless wins mean something to the players that are on the court. Because regardless of what you think of it, like it or not, they don't care what us fans want or what draft pick that they want us to have. They want to win the game. Us fans might want to lose because we have dreams and aspirations of Cade Cunningham or whoever. But those players that are on the court don't give a rat's ass, excuse my language, about what the fans want when it comes to draft selection. So you can't say meaningless wins don't matter, because what you mean to say is meaningless wins don't matter to us fans.
Well, the meaningless
what were you going to say, Steven?
Just real quick, I was going to say I was talking to a friend of mine, and I just said, history has shown me that Vegas is in the business to make money. And if they're saying 22 wins, from a standard deviation standpoint, I'm saying it's going to be from 20 to 25. Vegas ain't in the business to lose money. So if they're saying 22, you could put it in there that they know what the hell they're doing. Their analytics. They have some.
Every now and then, Vegas be wrong now.
No, I know.
But just look who they're playing, bro. They're gonna play Milwaukee. They're gonna play Toronto. They're gonna play Boston. They're gonna play Indiana. They're gonna play Miami. They're gonna play Philadelphia.
Philly new coach.
Hold on. They're gonna play. Just hold on. They're gonna play. They still got a good team though. They're gonna play the Brooklyn Nets. They're gonna play the Washington Wizards, which are a much better team this year. They're gonna play the Chicago Bulls that got a little bit better. The Atlantic Hawks are much better this year.
I mean, you can literally say we're gonna play every team in the league. You don't have to go down the list. We gotta play everybody. So
no,
but I'm just saying. But I'll break it down.
We gotta play everybody. It's not like we can only play a certain amount of teams.
That's not DA's point.
That's not my point.
No, I know what he's saying. The point is, you can sit here. Listen, a lot of things look good on paper, but you play the game for a reason. And maybe I'm sounding overly optimistic, but you got to get on the court.
I just don't see how we're getting 30 wins playing against our conference.
Yeah, and starting so many. Yeah, I agree on the road like that. Hey, Kev, I don't know versus the previous. Your audio's a little off tonight. So do you have a battery or issue or anything? Or
so I'm in North Carolina and we're having this rainstorm and my internet's been messed up all day.
Okay,
so that's probably the reason. Y'all gotta bear with me. I'm sorry, but
no worries. We
internet is horrible out here today.
Yeah, and like I said, I did 3 shovels already, so I know. So, hey, anybody else want to before we close this out?
As it pertains to wins, I see us around the 20 to 25 mark, anywhere in there.
Good man.
I'm not too fixated on W's as opposed to I'm more fixated on competitive games. Like if we lose by 2 or 3, that's cool. If we lose by 5, that's cool. Like last year, so many blowouts. You're not gonna see too many blowouts this year with Tibbs coaching this team.
I agree with
He's
you
not
on that,
gonna allow it. If these guys are gonna get blown out, he's gonna sit whoever's on the floor and put the bench in and let them do it. He's not that type of guy that's gonna tolerate things like that. And I just see it being better as if we look at the team to be competitive, because then with that we can see, okay, this is where we lack, this is how we need to draft, this is how we need to trade, this is how we need to sign, and that's when the team is going to start getting W's.
Yeah.
Can I say something to the whole wins and losses thing? We as fans, and like I said in the beginning, we're New York Knicks fans. We're so used to losing, just losing, to where it's like you see something good and you want to make it bad, because if you feel like it's bad, you're not going to be disappointed if that's what it turns out to be. And so you want to lower expectations because that's just where you think it is. But this is where I guess I'm just an optimist. The goal of these young players is to get better. So if they continually get better and throughout the season they do things that the coaches want them to do and the coaches put them in positions to be successful, and it's not like we're not talking about a team that's like that 76ers team from a couple of years ago. Most of these players on this team are highly drafted players, which means most of them, whether we like them or not, are talented players. And they just have to figure out, and I put it like this, once they figure out how to play with each other and Tibbs finds those matchups that work well with each other. Like, I'm so happy to see Knox, Obi, and RJ on the court at the same time.
Yeah.
And I saw that good things happen. And one of the things that we have to look at, how many of those teams that you named are older teams? The Knicks are one of the youngest teams. So we're going to be fresher, should be fresher, when you hit those back-to-back nights also, which will also work in our advantage too. You know, say we play the Lakers, who are an older, not saying we're going to beat the Lakers.
They're going to rest LeBron.
I'm just saying they're going to, be resting for. They're going to be more tired than we are because we're young. We haven't played in 9 months also. So there's just contributing factors. You don't look at it like, oh, we're we've been bad, so we're going to be bad. It's like I look at an NFL reference. How many teams go from worst to first in NFL? I'm not saying that basketball and NFL are two different things. I'm just saying you can be bad one year and then turn around and be good. It's not impossible. But a lot of Knicks fans have in their mind that it's just impossible for the Knicks to be good because they just haven't been good.
Yeah, we talked about Tibbs his first year in Chicago. It was a 21-game turnaround.
And I'm telling you right now, do not undervalue coaching. I don't care what nobody says. Coaching matters in every sport. You don't have a coach, you don't have nothing. We done seen it. We saw that. We've seen that for decades. That's been part of our main problem. We have had no coaching, and you couple that along with getting rid of your draft picks, trying to grab these players that's way past their prime. That's what we've been doing it, and that's why we paying right now for those past mistakes, those front office malpractice. We finally got a coach in lockstep with the front office guy that ain't did nothing dumb. Everything he's done has been setting us up to be players from now on. And that's the one thing. Don't discount the impact of having Leon Rose in that front office. That guy had a powerhouse free
agency.
So he knows how to run good business. He knows about that. And he's not going to do nothing that's going to put us in a bad situation. And I'm telling you, man, if we can get 21 wins with Fizdale, think about that. And everybody on this panel know we wasn't running no offense. It was do what you want to do, dribble handoff. That's all it was. And we sure enough didn't play no defense. We playing defense now. The main reason why did we win this game tonight? Because of Tibbs' calling card. Defense. The defense actually contributed to the offense. And we're going to be in more games than we're going to lose. I'm telling you right now, man, don't be surprised if we won them teams that nobody talked about. Because every year in the NBA, you may not have a team that go from worst to first, but you have that surprise team. Why not us?
So can I just say this real quick? And because I'm going to leave after this because I'm dying. My eyes are burning. But I want to be on for it tomorrow. First and foremost, I know we were joking today early in the morning. I just want to apologize because I was cutting people off, and I don't want to do that. So I apologize for doing that a little bit too much this morning. But I'm with Joe on this, man. We got to temper expectations, man. It's going to be ugly. Now, I'll give it to Tibbs. Tibbs can coach up a team of veterans. But again, we don't have the talent that those Bulls teams had, right? Where he came in the first year and was able to do what he did. Even without Derrick Rose, they still have more talent. So to me, I'm not necessarily looking at wins per se. I'm not saying we should tank because I don't want to tank. I'm more concerned about the development of guys like Knox. These not twilight of the career, but like twilight of their Knick career type of players, right? Where it's damn, are you giving Mitchell Robinson money, a guy who had 5 fouls? And got 2-3 quick fouls against starter guys, and he's like Nick V said. I don't want to take his words. I forgot who said it, but they said basically it's like you're looking at Knox and he's still making the same mistakes as rookie year, right? Or are you re-signing a guy like Kevin Knox who one day can flash and it's like, damn man, this dude he's gonna be that 3-and-D wing, and then the next day it's like, 24 minutes, only 2 points, 2 for 11 from the field or something like that, or 1 for 11 from the field, and 4 fouls, 4 turnovers. You know what I mean? So that's how I'm looking at these guys. I mean, it'll be if we get to the playoffs again, that'll be a cherry on top. But development, because next year, I think with what you heard Tom Thibodeau say with these free agents, hey, you gotta be aggressive again, a free agent. And he also talked about the draft a little bit in his first conversation. He's not gonna stay here and stay with this team forever. He wants things to happen relatively quick, probably by the end of this season. So, salute to you guys, man. Thanks for having me on as usual, man. Salute to you guys, bro. Rob, the Cowboys suck, but I'll be praying for them. So see you guys later, and I'll be here in the morning, man.
I suck
Hey,
Sam
take care.
Hey, Guillermo, remember you're going to be wearing that Tua jersey now.
Excuse me. I said I'm wearing the 2. First of all, Rob, if you want to bet something for the playoffs, we could do that.
Playoffs? What playoffs y'all going to?
No, the Dolphins. The Dolphins.
Oh, the Dolphins going to the playoffs. Y'all can book that.
I'm saying, if you want to bet something for the first game, because we play the Chiefs, I'll bet some. So let me know, man.
Who said
you may be glad I don't gamble no more, man. Hey, the Braves made me stop gambling, man. Hey, Guillermo, I lost a lot of money on the Braves gambling when your Yankees when we was up on that series. You remember that series where we was up on y'all big?
I'm
And looked like-
Yankees, he's Mets.
And looked like, well, he would have been happy if the Yankees won regardless.
Hey, no.
But
That's actually true.
Ron.
Let me hold the show. I'm out.
Be safe, man.
I'm mad that Rob went the whole Jim Mora, and when he said playoffs, I was like, "Where did Jim Mora get on this thing?"
That flashed in my mind too. Hey, you know what? I think the dwindling free agents in 2021 may be a blessing for us. That a lot of the guys that we thought were going to be available next year are not going to be, and
I'm excited.
You know, I think it's at this point, Howie, Drew, I think is still around. Lowry, as we talked about, but some of the others are not going to be there, so we may be going what we have and what we're going to get in the draft.
Keep building, keep cooking.
A lot of what Tibbs said though was taken out of context, because the question was, how do you do it? And he said you have to be aggressive. He didn't say we should be aggressive.
Man, you don't think that was you don't Kev, you don't think he was sending a message to the front office?
What I'm saying is, I went back and I went back and I listened to it, and he didn't say. They asked him, "How does a team become successful?" And he said, "You have to be aggressive." And then Quine said, "You got to be first in development, then through trades and free agency, but you have to be aggressive in that." Then he said Jimmy Butler was a rookie and didn't play at all almost. But in a testament to his development and his work ethic, he became a top 10 player in the league. That's what he said. He didn't say we need to go out there and be aggressive and get somebody.
So Guillermo,
that's a good point you make, Kev.
Crazy. That's exactly what he said, Kev. They went crazy.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said.
Saying, they don't got no talent and all this type of stuff. Oh, he's trying to say that the guys on the team don't got it. And I'm like, yo, he didn't say that.
He literally.
But come on, y'all got to be real too, man. Them last few games the Knicks wasn't playing good, and so when that Mike got in his face and he started spewing that stuff out there. Now think about it: if the Knicks was playing good, he wouldn't have made those comments. He wouldn't have said that, because that wouldn't even been a conversation. You know what they would have been saying? Coach Tibbs, how you got this team playing so good so quick? That's what you would have heard. They asked those questions because of how the team had been performing the last few games. And Tibbs had to answer that thing truthfully. Remember, he used to be a front office man too now. So he's giving you the perspective of being in the front office. But, hey, he's still telling your boy, hey, Leon, man, I need some help. You want me to turn this thing around? I need some help.
The thing
I'm gonna jump off, but before I jump off, I want to leave you guys with this. I get that, you know, this team might look a little bit better than last year. We have a better coach, but you gotta understand too, these other teams have gotten better as well, and their superstars are a year older in the league, and it's not gonna be an easier task to do. You know what I'm saying? So. I get that we have better coaching and you know, like RJ looks good and Randall's gonna give us his numbers, but I just want us to not get so fixated on wins and more on competing and not getting blown out in games, and you know, just work from there. But salute to you guys, man. Have a good night, man. I appreciate everything you guys do. Love the ball talk, and I'll see you guys soon.
Hey TL, you brought so much insight tonight. I hope you join us more often.
All right, TL.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your time. Thank you for
good insight,
me.
man. Good insight.
Great insight, man. You brought a lot.
Thank you.
Hey, just we're going to switch off to Obi in a sec. If there's anything else you guys want to talk prior to that, but just real quick, a shout out in the live chat: Bruce Miller, Joe Curry, Travi Trave, Jason D. Grant, so many of our regulars: Kaiser Soze, Sherwin M., who I talk to all the time, Real King. You know, thanks so much, guys, for your support. We're at the 834 subscribers. We have 112 in the chat right now. We have about 67 likes. So let's hit those likes. Let's hit that 100 milestone tonight. Shout out, as always, to Sima, Bodega, New York Knicks. Shout out mostly also to Uncle Freezy, man. We miss you, Freeze. Hope you're having a good night. And You're here in spirit, but we want you to know that we're thinking about you. Kev, you got something you want to talk about?
I want to read this tweet because I thought it was like the funniest thing I've read in a while, and it came from Jonathan Marcy, who quoted from the great Shawshank Redemption. He said, "The Knicks made us crawl through 500 yards of shit-smelling foulness tonight before we tasted the sweet freedom of Quickley, RJ, Knox, and the Obi."
You've come this far. Just be patient, and you can come a little further.
I just thought that was so funny. I'm like, why you come, man? You quoting the Shawshank Redemption? That was funny to me. I'm sorry, but yeah, no, I'm good now.
So let's talk about Obi. I'll just kick it off. That I was so glad what Quickley helped him out, but at the beginning of the game, I'm like saying, why is this kid? I know that you want him out there, to open up the paint because of what they were doing, but you had him so far away from the basket, from his sweet spot, that I was like, why are they putting in this type of scheme? So you want to kick it off, Kev?
There were some times he went in the post. I mean, obviously he was in the kind of the, I wouldn't call it pick and pop, just the drive and dish kind of situations where he was down there and got some easy dunks and some easy lobs. But the second half was more, they really weren't running that many half court sets for him to get the ball in the paint in the second half. It was a lot faster and a lot more up and down. So that's probably why you saw him more on the perimeter than anything. I mean, his shot was falling. He had a couple mid-range jumpers in the first half. But like I said, you saw a lot of his explosion. To be honest with you, I think he needs more attempts. I don't know. How many minutes did he play tonight? I don't really.
Obi played 30 and a half minutes, went 4 for 6. He went for 0 for 2 from 3, had 7 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 turnover, 8 points, was a plus 16.
Now I have another question. How many shots did we take tonight?
I'll tell you right now. As a team, we took 26. We took 108 shots in total.
Now, remember last night I said we had to move and we had to take a minimum of 100 shots.
Yeah, you did say that.
Always still needs to take more than 6 shots. There's no reason why Elver Payton should probably be out-shooting Obi Toppin. But that's all I have to really say. But he looked good. He looks better in transition, and like any young kid, he looks better in the open court. So,
Rob, you want to take it?
Yeah, it's like this. He's only going to look, Kevin Knox is going to only look as good as the point guard that's on the floor. And as you see, when Quickley got on the court, hey, Obi started looking better. He got easy shots. He wasn't out there in space firing up threes. It's that simple. When you look at his game, you look at the point guard, because the point guard's job is, like I always say, is to set up the troops. He's the general on the floor. You got to make sure everybody eat. And when the guard has that concept, you're going to get better ball play. You're going to see Obi do a lot of things. You're going to see the Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire thing going on with that scenario all around the basket. That's where he's going to hang out at, because he's going to know that's where all his easy baskets at. He can't do that now because there's no point guard that's going to consistently get the ball in his spots. So he ventures out. And then when he ventures out, that leaves Randle in there, down there on the bottom, to fumble around. And the jump shot is open, so he takes it. But he can't get used to that because it's going to destroy his confidence later, and he'll never shoot it. So he needs to hang out where he's going to be scoring most of his points, and that's down there on the box. So he played good, but it was due to Quickley. If Quickley would have never gotten the game, he would have probably finished with about 2 more shots and a whole bunch of more missed 3-pointers. So it helped him out.
What do you think, Joe?
He played good all in all.
Yeah, I agree with Rob. He needs to be in around the paint. Like what I noticed was that him and Randle on the floor might not work together. Like we thought defensively they might not work together. Clearly, offensively, it doesn't work because you see Randle is in around his real estate. Like that's exactly where Randle needs to be is where Obi needs to be too. So you need to have like Obi can stretch the floor, but he's not, as I said, he's not Bertans from Washington. He's going to be lighting firing out up threes. Like he can drop occasional 1 or 2 threes a game from catch and shooting when he's open, but he's not your lights out 3-point shooter. He needs to be in around the paint, and that's where he's more effective. I think I agreed, and I said this before he was. I said this before he was drafted. Wherever he was going to end up going was because I thought he would have done very well with Cleveland because of a point guard situation. Wherever he needed to go had to have a good point guard. Now he's here. Now we need to try and get that point guard for him. And I think I'm not going to say Quickley is our point guard of the future. It's one game. It's preseason. It was against G League team from Cleveland, but he looks the most promising. And Obi did look better when Quickley was on the floor. So I just think he needs to keep developing, keep doing what he's doing. But the point guards need to give the ball to him a lot more. There was times where he was down in the low post and no one was giving him the ball. Like he took, what did he take? Like 7 shots today. He needs to be taking 10 or more to be effective. He needs to have that ball in around the paint.
He took 10 shots altogether. So, what do you think, Mr. Cleveland?
10 shots altogether. Yeah, he need.
With Obi,
Yep.
I particularly don't like how they're using him. I don't think they're really using him to all of his strengths, because it almost seems like they're letting him sit on the perimeter instead of get down on the box.
Thank you.
And I don't like that. And that's why the whole Julius Randle and him on the court together, for everybody who think that can work, it ain't gonna work. Because at the end of the day, even if you have Julius trying to play the center position, players revert to what they know best and where they operate the best. Julius is going to go over and sit on that box on the left side, and that's going to be right where Obi want to go. So that's a problem, man. That's a problem, and I just don't like the way they're using him. I don't have a problem. I'm not worried about Obi so far as what he can do, because he's showing what he can do. But to Joe's point guard makes a difference, man, and Obi would not have looked that good tonight if it wasn't for Quickley coming in the game.
Yeah. One of the positives I also saw on Obi was when he was under the basket a few times, he kicked the ball out. He had made a couple of nice passes out,
Yeah.
So I like that a whole lot. So.
Well, I have a question. What is Obi's listed as 6'9", right? Something that just dawned on me from earlier today. Obi's having listed as 6'9", right?
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all see the? I don't know if y'all have on the Knicks Twitter or not. They took some team photos earlier, and Obi was in a picture with Kevin Knox. I don't know why they were together, but they were together in the picture. And something stuck out for me, and I was looking at it again to see them side by side. And Kevin Knox is taller than Obi Toppin.
Wow, that's wild. I thought he'd be like 3 inches taller than Knox.
No, Knox is about 6'9".
If they have a picture, if y'all have Knicks Twitter, Obi Toppin and Kevin Knox took a picture together. They're sitting side by side. Kevin Knox is taller. He's like almost an inch taller than Obi Toppin. And even when I was watching the game, I see them sitting next to each other right now, and Kevin Knox is still taller than Obi Toppin.
Yeah, Kevin Knox is 6'9".
Yeah, because Knox is listed. Yeah, he's listed 6'7" on all these like ESPN and all.
Yeah, I know.
They've
been revising it.
Armage is almost 6'7".
But even look, Knox is over RJ.
Got bigger.
Yeah, Knox is 6'9".
So I'm looking, I was like, huh.
Because they mentioned that last year that he had grew over the summer when he came back for a second year.
I mean, because he just turned 21, so it's not like it's unfeasible for him not to be still growing. Into his frame. But yeah, I just happened to notice about Obi.
Hey guys, your first impression of seeing Okoro on Cleveland? You want to take it, Kev?
He's a better shooter than I thought he was going to be. It kind of surprised me. He had a couple jump shots early, and I was like, you know, they had said that you know, that wasn't really his strong suit. There's going to be a while for him to develop his shot, but he came out. He looked comfortable doing it. Defensively, I didn't really see where it's like, oh, he's the best defender in the draft. I think he was matched up with RJ a little bit early, and it's like, you know, I don't see anything that he was stopping RJ from doing, necessarily. But RJ, I think RJ is bigger than he is. So,
you know, that's funny what you just said about Obi and Knox. My impression of Okoro is he looks smaller than I thought he was.
Yeah. So, like I said, I think he's gonna have a good career.
6.
Huh?
I mean, Joe to the fam.
I said, yeah, Okoro's. I think Okoro was like 6'6".
He's 6'6", but
to me, he always did look. He looks smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I think he'll be good. I don't know how they're going to use him, knowing because I think he's starting at the guard position. No, did he start at the forward position?
I think he's at the forward position, the 3.
Oh, he's going to be a really undersized 3.
No, the 3.
Pardon?
Yeah, he's a 2 or a 3.
Yeah,
he's going to be really undersized at that 3 position, depending on who they match up with. So
he better get in that gym and keep building to that frame.
Yeah, because it was funny at the draft. He looked real lean when I saw him. I was like, he's probably doing that for quickness, but he looked real lean. And I was like, whoa, I thought he was a bigger boy than that. Hey, Rob, any thoughts about Okoro's first game that we see?
Not really. If you ain't a Knick, I ain't talking about you.
That's cool. Hey, let's talk about RJ. So RJ last night was about 33 minutes, 6 for 12 from the field, 1 for 4 from 3. This is music to our ears. 3 for 3 from the line. 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, 16 points, plus 13. So you want to take it, Rob?
Oh yeah, RJ.
And also that one beautiful no look pass, man.
Yeah, he played a solid game. You know, RJ is really pretty much takes care of himself for the last 3 games. He's been solid. But there's one thing that I noticed about him when he was on the sidelines and that comeback was there. Like he was looking on the side like, damn, they got me playing with them. I want to play with them. That was the look he had on his face and Tim back in the game too. He said, yeah, I'm going to let you run with your boys. He said, I know that's what you want to do. He ran out there like a galloping horse. He was happy in there.
Hey, so no, this is what got me. There's when you work with somebody, when you're on the same team, depending on who it is, chemistry is important, right? So we haven't really seen RJ run with like Knox and Obi and Quickley and Mitch like that. Because usually they're all in the second unit and RJ's in the first unit. So they haven't really played together. But that play where RJ took off and Knox hit him on the pass down.
Yeah, well, that was beautiful.
That is a type of intuition type of play. Like, one, RJ has to know Knox will pass the ball down the court. But then I looked at that play and it's like Knox knew RJ was going to take off. Because as soon as Knox got it and turned around, that ball was out.
Yeah, he fired it right down court.
Yeah, he didn't sit on that, no.
And so that's the kind of thing is like, where do they build? Because I'm pretty sure even in practice, they don't play with each other like that. But that's just something that I feel like that's like it's an intuition, like you've been playing with each other for years.
You know what it was? They played together last year.
Yeah,
so they know what each other like.
I don't think they played that much on the court together.
But in practice, they played.
No.
Yeah, they played.
I don't know. I've always
we had some in the lineup last year. They played together at some point.
Every time,
15 different lineups.
Every time they put some young boys on the floor, even last year, they already had continuity. They already had like a chemistry. All them young ones, they did when they started trying to shift them veterans in there just messed up their chemistry.
Slowing the game down.
They always play good.
Them young boys want to run, man. They want to run.
Yeah, and as we said yesterday, it's a great way to mess up the
And
2-3.
spent a lot of time.
Exactly. Go ahead, Joe.
RJ spent a lot of time though with Obi and with Knox over the summer working out. They said this RJ was with Knox and he was with Obi and then working out.
And make a lot of sense for why they look the way they look. You definitely can see it with Obi and Knox. And just looking at just looking at RJ game, man, it's that dude is gonna be a stat stuffer, man. Every column he gonna affect. Yeah. And that's not I hate to have people use that word and think it's a bad thing. That's the kind of thing I want. I want a player that can affect every box in the stat sheet in a good way. And that's what he is. That's what he is. So we may as well accept it, man. That guy he's the truth. That's exactly what he is, man. Wow, I'm saying the truth. It got me thinking about Paul Pierce for a minute. But and Kev, you the one who got me thinking about that. When you talked about but that dude, man, he is I can't say no more good things about him. He's ready. That's it.
Yeah. And that fire that you can just see in his eyes, that competitiveness, that after he does that, it's like rawr. And what Quickley has that energy.
Quickley got it too. Quickley is hungry. He coming for somebody's spot. They may as well get ready.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, again, quick shout out to
I gotta see RJ run with these young kids.
I'd rather see that too.
Yeah, and again,
I want to see RJ run with the young guys. I want to.
What you mean, like RJ? Oh, run with the young guys. I want to see RJ run with the young guys.
No, but
RJ is the young guy.
You know why after that, Rob? Because his game is seasoned like a 10-year vet. His game is seasoned.
RJ is the young guy.
He's a leader.
Running with the other young guys. I don't want to see RJ with fucking Peyton and Randle and I want him with Mitch.
You don't want to see it with the old geezers.
I don't want to see that trash. No, that trash first unit. That unit is garbage. Tibbs need to get his head out of his ass. Stop with this. With the vets and win. If you want to win a championship, you have to look at the long-term development. Put the young kids in the court. I want to see Quickley, RJ, Knox, Obi, Mitch. That's my 5, and go with that for the full season and develop them together instead of this Mitch and a match. And look at other teams like that develop. They'll put their kids together and make them play. Why do we have to have them off the bench and be like, let them play? Let them work. Let them play it through the kinks and the mistakes. That's the problem with Knox. He hasn't played enough to work through his mistakes.
I'm gonna tell y'all another thing too. You know what would have been a good sight in the night? This was a perfect game, and I keep calling for him. Steve, you know where I'm going with this.
You go, my man.
Iggy.
Yeah, this would have been. You know it, Rob. This would have been the perfect game for Iggy. Cause them guys were small. They were nothing. Cause that's the knock. Everybody keep talking about Iggy being so small, but all I know is the man played the game smart. He's a smart ball player, man, and he's listed at 6'7", 226. So he could have done some things tonight.
People in the chat saying that Knox is like 6'10" now, which.
Hey, Kaiser said that he never wants to hear me growl again like that. So, would you rather me do my woo, my
Ric Flair? You got to do that, Ric Flair.
Yeah, you got
to. The thing about Iggy is, Iggy has not stepped on the court yet.
That's a shame, man. That's a shame.
The writing, I hate to say this for all those Iggy fans out there, but the writing might be on the wall.
I don't know. It may not be him. Cut. No, he ain't getting cut. You know who's gonna get cut?
Spellman.
Spellman's gone. Gilchrist gone. Them two are definitely out of here.
The only reason why I don't think Spellman would be gone is because you don't have that many bigs. But I'm gonna tell you what, you got a lot of wing players and you got a lot of guards. But like if Mitch or Noel, who's had his injury problems in the past, if one of them aren't missing, you still need the extra big. So that's the one thing that might keep Spellman on the team, just for depth purposes alone.
I'm gonna tell you why Iggy stand. You know why Iggy stand? Because you're gonna have 3 small forwards. He gonna be the 3rd small forward on the team. He gonna be behind Knox,
Burks,
and then it's gonna be Iggy. They're
got
not getting rid of shooting is at a premium in this league, man.
Bullock is
Bullock's gone. You can pack Bullock's bag. Matter of fact, they got his name stitched on the headrest in the seat.
Yeah, he's gonna be a Mason.
He's gonna be on. He might be one of the flight attendants, but he's gonna be up out of here
because he's good with them bricks.
Boy, I tell you, boy, he been billing them. He came to us and forgot how to shoot.
Yeah. Hey, shout out just real quick to D Grant, Travi Trey, all the guys, Julian Tran. Really appreciate all your support. D Public Enemy. You're here every night, you guys. We really, really appreciate it. We're at 79 likes at the moment, 108 in the chat. Let's get it up there.
But what I'm upset about the most is this. On a night, and Rob pointed this out last night. On a night when my boy looked great and I was right, you ain't seen Freezy pop in here not one time.
Well, he'll be here. You gotta wait till about 2:30. If you're on at 2:30.
Because
he'll be on.
He'll pop in and he'll pop out.
And you won't see Chuck either. I already peep how they do. They go all around this internet circuit, but they won't stop with a party.
They show up in the morning. They show up in the morning hour.
Yeah, I think Chuck said he's working. I think he'll be free on Friday. But you guys check him out this morning with Guillermo.
I was asleep. I be getting up at like 9. I set myself to 9:50. I get up, get myself ready, and watch First Take. Because I don't get to bed.
Well, you watch First Take? That trash
First Take every day.
Man, I can't believe you watch that trash.
Hey, that's still the #1 sports show on TV.
Says who? I'll watch Undisputed before I watch that trash. I'd rather hear Uncle Shay Shay.
I can't listen to that.
The ratings say that's still the #1.
I don't know. They paid for that. They paid for that because they ain't better than Undisputed. I'm sorry.
Nah. The #1 show is First Take.
I don't know. LeBron James must be.
I like Undisputed better myself, though. But
you and me both.
I miss Stephen A. and Skip together. It's still not the same. I mean, Shannon is okay.
Shannon is great with Skip.
That's like saying Shannon and Max Kellerman can do a show. It wouldn't work out. People forget Skip
Shannon
and Stephen A.
funny.
Shannon is real funny. He's real funny. You know when I knew he was funny, Rob, was when he got on that phone at that Denver game. I remember that just like yesterday, man. He got on that red phone. He's like, Mr. President, please call the National Guard because we killing them out here. Boy, it was so funny. I was like, this dude here is a nut.
Man, when he showed up with that goat hat with the black and mild in it, man, I fell out my seat. That's
and that cap, that little He's funny, man.
Yeah. So let's talk about Mitch.
He was a nice.
Let me say this about what I was talking about Mitch. Mitch is out of shape.
How you figure?
Mitch ain't out of shape.
If you watch the beginning of that game, Mitch was lagging a lot. Like he looked winded early.
Mitch ain't out of shape.
I know all the players you hate, Ken.
No, I don't hate Mitch. I don't hate Mitch. I'm saying, listen, this is how you can tell a player is tired. You know when your hands get on your knees and you bent over, and it's really still the beginning of the game. You tired.
It may not be. It might be he's working real hard. But let me give you Mitch numbers for the night for you talk about Mitch.
I'm not talking. Look, I'm not.
Hold on. I want you to hear this now, so you get a good perspective. 32 minutes, 5 of 7 on field goals, 3 for 4 up in the free throw line, 4 offensive rebounds, 6 defensive rebounds for a total of 10, 1 assist, 4 block shots. 5 fouls, a plus 10, 13 points.
And the one thing on that was he had 5 fouls, I think, at 6 minutes in the
another
third quarter.
game where he was able to play
played
through
the whole game.
Yeah.
Well, he got they took it back on that one.
Hey, that was good. They should have threw that guy out.
The elbow.
It should have never been called a foul.
Yeah.
Exactly, Rob. It should have never been called a foul.
Been called the foul. He the one got fouled.
Yeah, the dude should have been thrown out of the game because that was dirty.
They
That
called
was
a
straight up
flagrant
dirty.
one on him.
It should have been a flagrant 2. He should have been tossed because he clearly threw the elbow.
Where's these threes he's talking about? There was one time where he's wide open.
Forget the threes. Check out what he did.
Tim telling them don't shoot them
Look at
yet.
what he did. Don't
Tim
tell
said,
me
wait
about
for
no
the regular
threes.
season. That's when I want you shoot
Look what
them
he
things.
did.
Hey, what surprised me is Andre Drummond was out there hitting threes. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Whoa, where did this come from? What's happening here? Stop this. If Andre Drummond gets an outside game,
man, you won't see that in regular season.
Hey, Kev, let me tell you, this is how you know Spellman is on that plane. 5 minutes tonight. That's all he got.
I guess it was like, he didn't look great.
5 minutes. You know that's how much time it's going to take for him to get on that plane. You got 5 minutes to get on that plane.
Just as a quick thing, Drummond tonight, about 21 minutes, 7 for 16, 1 for 2 from 3, 3 for 4 from the line, 14 rebounds, and as we always know with this guy can rebound. 5 assists, 18 points, plus 17.
Well, he's tough. And I think we almost had him a few times.
Like I told you, be careful. Yeah, Drummond is not going to finish the season.
He's from Mount Vernon.
He's not going to finish the season in Cleveland.
He probably won't, but he's playing for that next team, though.
Well,
might be us. You never know.
If they trade him, they're going to get something for him.
Oh, yeah, putting up them kind of numbers?
To your point, that kid Bolden,
they traded nothing to get him. What did they trade? 2 seconds?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, the kid Bolden tonight was a little over 22 minutes, 4 for 8 from the field. He had 5 rebounds. He had 3 blocks, and it was misleading. He was a negative 17. I didn't see that.
He looked better than that.
He did look better than that.
Was that the kid that was 28 years old?
That I don't know.
Who's the 28? Was that Randolph that was 28?
Yeah, I think it was Randolph.
Trying to make the team?
Yeah. So
he was 2 for 4 on 3-pointers against us.
Let me see something for a sec.
Yeah, that Mooney kid, he was the one.
Yeah,
let's see who had all that
Randolph
turnovers.
is 28. Yeah, 6'6", 20. He's 28, and let's see. The other was, let me see the age on Bolden is he's 22. Yeah, I thought so. He's right out of Duke. So yeah, it was Randolph. So keep going on, Mitch. Did you think that he was doing some in the pinch post tonight?
Who, me?
You want to take it, Ron?
What I saw from Mitch tonight is I saw the same old Mitch. You know what you're gonna get from him if you got a point guard that's competent. and his game took off really once Quickley came in the game. It took off because I think Quickley might have threw him 2 alley-oops. I think he might have got 2 from Quickley. So he was playing off of Quickley, man. And so what I saw from Mitch is the same old Mitch. We know we're going to get, but I was shocked because Guillermo brought the point out about him getting on that defensive boards. And let's see, Mitch had how many rebounds on the defensive board again?
He had 6.
That's huge, man. That's huge because matter of fact, Mitch had more defensive rebounds than he do offensive rebounds. And we know him more for getting them offensive rebounds. So he plays like that. Sky's the limit, man. And he was a +10 tonight.
Mm-hmm. They do a nice pick and roll together. They seem like they have a chemistry already for just meeting each other.
That's what I'm saying. You can tell who's been working together because you don't just pick that up. The kind of stuff they were doing to throw alley-oops, that's basically eye contact. That ain't, hey, go run, go get ready for alley-oop. He ain't doing that. He's looking at him. So they're looking at each other rather. So I'm pleased with Mitch, man. I hope he stays on the team for the foreseeable future. Keep him long term.
Yeah. What do you think, Rob?
Man, Mitch is balling. Mitch doing. I've never had no problem with Mitch since training camp. I ain't care nothing about his agent. I ain't care because I know when Mitch step on that court, he stay out of foul trouble. He gonna show you what's up.
Yeah.
It comes to him too easy. He's quicker than everybody. He's more athletic. All he needed, if he just do the basic things, man, Mitch will be on the all-star team. Keep his feet on the ground and raise his hands and stay around that basket, get a little 15-footer, you'll see Mitch on the all-star team, man. Joe's nowhere, man. Look, he's nowhere the athlete Mitch is. Nowhere.
No doubt.
No, yeah.
He's nowhere close. Mitch on his worst day is like, if Mitch stay out of foul trouble, what you had today will be doubled.
Well, I'll tell you, all you need to see is Spellman to say, you know what, I like Mitch after all. You watch Spellman in that block down on defense, and it's like, oh man.
Look, Spellman looked like one of the three piggies that got tall.
He looked like he should be playing football for real.
Yeah,
he don't look like no basketball player.
Yeah, Mitch.
I just want to
with the right point guard, with a competent point guard that can shoot, you're gonna get the best out of all them players. That's why the Knicks can make the next jump. You put a comfortable point guard right there, they will jump.
Rubio.
Easily.
Mm-hmm. What were you gonna say, Kev?
First, I don't dislike Mitch. I want to let's end that narrative. I just, like I said, that's just an observation. He just looked tired out the gate.
Until you read the stats, huh?
No, it had nothing to do. But I mean, they had nothing. It's just his body language. Like he looked tired.
Well, body language can be deceiving. Won't we say that?
Unless you're asking Barry Sanders.
Hey, look, no. Let's ask Mitch numbers versus his body language. Was it deceiving?
I mean, my thing is this: he had a good game, and I'm not saying again.
We're
this
talking
isn't
about, like we do it. Like everybody had to answer that question about Kevin Knox today. It came down to a yes or no. Did his body language equal his stats?
No.
Huh, Kev?
No.
Okay, continue.
But
I second emotion.
Like I said, he just like I said, Mitch. Hey, Mitch. If Mitch. People want to make out Mitch to be something that he's probably just not going to be or comfortable with being right now. It's like they want him to shoot jump shots like this, Mitch shoot. And it's like maybe he's just not comfortable yet. Like if Mitch just stays, I guess, in his lane, the lane that he's in right now, Mitch will be fine. He'll be good for what he is. But it's like the fans, they saw him in this offseason, playing pickup with his friends, shooting jump shots. And I was like, that's what they want Mitch to be. Oh, people do. People do, trust me.
Well, that's him. There's
a lot of people who do.
Well, that's
him. Hey, I got to get going, man. Hey, I enjoyed it.
Oh, man, yeah, it's 2:00. I got to do it early, too. I got to get up and go to the dentist in the morning.
Yeah, man. Hey, you be safe out there, boy. Be safe. Don't look out for them snowmobiles.
Yeah. Oh, they out there. Yeah.
Hey, Ron, as always, it's a pleasure, my friend. Rob, you too, if you got to go.
Yeah. Hey, look, Travis said, Kevin, that you wanted to trade Mitch last night.
when did I ever say I wanted to trade somebody?
Hey, they said you called them for a trade last night.
That did not come from me. I promise you and everybody in the chat, I do not dislike Mitch Robinson.
But did you try to trade him?
No, I don't know where that came from. That didn't come from me. I didn't say anything about trading Mitch.
Well, I brought up an article out of Boston about the Robert, that potentially.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did. I heard you.
But that didn't come from me.
You brought up the article. You agreed. You agreed. Yep. If that's what he's talking about, that article about the first and 2 second rounders and all of that.
I said I'd do it.
And
I think you said I'd do that in a blink or something.
That's a trade.
I didn't say, okay, Mitch need to go like I do about Julius Randle or anything. I just said, if something, if something just spectacular happened, they gave us 2 firsts. Yeah, I'm going to do that.
No, it was 1 first and 2 seconds. And Boston first round pick would have been something like 27, 28. So basically it's three second round
picks. You got it, my
and
friend.
you said yes. I said hell no.
I thought he said two first round picks.
If you redo Mitch draft right now, he's a top 10. He's a lottery pick. He in the top 10.
I thought he said two first round picks. I was like, oh yeah, you two first round picks. Hell yeah, I do that. Who wouldn't?
Nah. But look, I'm gonna let y'all brothers roll. I'm gonna get with y'all tomorrow.
As always, my friend.
Salute to the chat. I can't be had a good night.
We're gonna take some questions from the chat in a second, but I just wanted to say salute to the chat. Hit those like, subscribe, and reminder buttons to support our boy Freezy. Hope all is well, Freeze, if you're listening. Also, again, shout out to the greatest mods the Lord's ever made, Sima, Bodega, and New York Knicks. As always, your efforts are greatly appreciated. And obviously, don't forget to check out that Knicks morning drive. It was fire this morning with everyone. All the guests were fantastic. So all the guests, and but especially it ended up with that Hell in a Cage match between Chuck and Guillermo, which the good part is we'll have a lot more. So I'm getting a request from Trav in DSJ about DSJ's stats tonight. So Travi, Dennis was about a little under 16 minutes, 3 for 6 from 2 for 4 from 3. He had 4 assists, 5 steals, like we said, had a great game on the defensive end of the ball, 2 blocks to add to that, 2 turnovers, 8 points, and he was 0 plus minus.
People are going to hark on DSJ because you're either a franker or they want to hold back onto his mistakes. DSJ is never going to be a good shooter. Never. It's not going to happen. Will he hit some shots in the game? Yeah.
Yeah, he's a pro, but I agree with you. I don't see him ever being a pure.
And so they want him to be like Steph Curry, I guess. And it's like, well, no, that's never going to happen. And they want to talk about his, turnovers and his low IQ. DSJ can play, and defensively, so far in 3 games, he's been one of the better defenders on the team.
No doubt.
So I want to take DSJ. I guess he's from North Carolina. I'm from North Carolina. We both went to state, so I got to rock with DSJ. He's going to be fine. I still think the coaching staff, as long as he continues to work and show that he's working, I think they'll still ride with him as probably the first or second guard off the bench. Just because of the fact that he's done it in the league. So he still has the upper hand on Quickley because Quickley is a rookie and DSJ is going in his 4th season. So he knows the ins and outs of the NBA life, or the NBA grind, that is. So, oh God. If it is Elfrid Payton that starts, I don't want to think about it, but it's probably going to happen. Then Rivers and DSJ are probably those first 2 combo guards. Because with both of them, it's easier, I think, for Austin Rivers to handle the ball than it would be for Frank, which is why I think that Frank is the odd man looking out, especially if DSJ continues to play defense the way he is.
But do you think what our Freezy said about, Frank evolving into that Bruce Bowen, maybe even more doing 3, going against 3s and 2s and not playing that point anymore? You see that?
Because Alec Burks is going to play a lot of the 3, and I don't know if Reggie Bullock is on the team. That's why I say it's such a log jam with these players because you have so many people that can play the 1, 2, and 3. Like I said, somebody's just not going to play, especially with Tibbs, and we know Tibbs like to have those tight rotations. It's just somebody's not going to play, and so you have like 6, 7, 8 players for 3 spots, but you know RJ is going to play heavy minutes.
Let me ask you a quick question. Do you think, or have you ever seen a player that can gain vision? You know, the knock on Dennis is that he just doesn't see the floor. He just doesn't, you know, as the great point guards instinctually, you know, certain things can be taught and some things are gifts from the Lord. Do you think he'll ever have that vision to, you know, like Gretzky said, you don't go where the puck is, you go where the puck's going. And you think the game will slow down to him where he'll know where the ball, you know, did you notice tonight how inaccurate his passes are again? He doesn't give the guy the ball, his teammates the ball in a shooting. They're always having to, you know, one was a low ball to Obi. He's just an inaccurate passer.
One, yes, court vision is just something you either have or you don't have. I think you can be better working in a system where you know, okay, I know this player is supposed to be here. I know this player is supposed to be there. Now, that's different from making plays as you go. Can DSJ work good in the system? Yes. Because athletically, he might be the best athletic guard we have. Point guard. He's the most athletic point guard we have on the team. So if he can just turn that, because here's the thing with DSJ, and I know this because I live in North Carolina, so he spent most of his life just living off his athletic ability, not really knowing the nuances of playing the point guard. They put me at point guard. They put the ball in my hands, but I'm just such a freaking gifted athlete, and I can just kind of, you know, work my way around it and just make it look like I'm playing point guard. I can pass and get alley-oops and lobs and stuff.
And you can get away with that in high school and college, but when you get up here where everybody...
because in state, he was by far the best player on the team.
Yeah.
But when you get to this level where it's like, okay, we need you to be a point guard, we need you to orchestrate an offense, it's not something that you can just pick up overnight or a year or an off season. It's going to take time for him to do that, to understand the game from a cerebral point of view. Right now, he doesn't have it, but I can see he's working on it. I can see that he cares. And I think with New Yorkers, a lot of times people get on people about their body language and the fact that they look down. When people get down, to me, that means that you care. That means that you care about your craft and you don't want to perform poorly. Because if you were out there doing bad with a smile on your face, laughing and giggling and playing around, and you out there sucking, that's completely different. That's what I would have an issue with. But somebody who's like has their head down because they know they're doing bad and deep inside they want to do good, then yes, that's what that means. That means they care. And as long as he does that, I think Tibbs is going to roll with him. Because we all know Tibbs loves his athletic point guards.
Yeah. Did you see him once drive to the paint tonight though, DSJ?
In the first half?
Or how many times in the game did you see him do any of that? Most of his shots were...
He took a lot more outside shots this game. He took more outside shots than I've seen him take the first couple of games. The only time I saw him really go to the holes when he had that strip steal on the inbound pass.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. And I don't know if he just couldn't get around. I think he was matched up with Garland for a little bit earlier. But yeah, I didn't really see that much of him getting to the lane like that.
Yeah. Joe Curry from the chat, otherwise known as OG Kush, is saying that he thinks that Quickley should start next game and see what we have. One thing is, with one preseason game to go, I don't think we're going to be seeing Jared Harper, Miles Powell, No
Iggy.
And no Iggy, exactly. So, and I think Spellman. The only reason we saw him tonight was because of the knee soreness in Nerlens.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. It would have been nice for. I'm a Jersey guy here, so I watched a lot of Seton Hall games, and I like the kid. Like I said a while ago, I could see him being our homegrown Van Fleet. He has that type of dog in him, and there's something about him that I really really like. So, but you have to pay your dues, and there's a reason he didn't get drafted. I think he only shot 30% from three. So he's the old adage. He's a scorer more than a shooter, and we need shooters.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, we got Kevin Knox, right? Kevin Knox is a shooter, right?
Is it Freezy?
Is that you, Freeze? We didn't realize you were here, man.
Yeah, I'm here.
How are you?
Hey, man, I'm well. How are y'all?
Good.
I'm
All
fantastic.
we see is a dark.
Yeah,
sky.
I didn't know you were even on.
Yeah, all we see is a dark space on the. So
I was looking for a spot to jump in, but y'all were doing great. So
not take it. We miss you, man. We love that. We love hearing that voice. It warms our hearts.
yeah, man, I appreciate y'all. And so from one Jersey guy to another, great job.
Hey, thank you. Back at you, man.
Great job. Yeah, man. Hey, so are you repping Jersey City?
Me?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm out of Essex County. I used to live in Hudson County. I used to live in Bayonne years ago.
Wow, Bayonne. Okay.
Yeah, home of Chuck Wepner, the Bayonne Bleeder.
I know that.
You got a tough town when the only notable is Chuck Wepner.
yeah. Him and the guy that used to coach for the Knicks, Pat Sullivan. He's from Bayonne.
Oh, was he?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think so. I think I might be right on that. I think so. Yeah.
So are you going to start this off by giving me an apology, or
I was waiting for it. Let's go.
Or because the chat's been waiting for this.
Waiting for what?
This apology, for you getting down to my boy Knox, because I was right on the money from pretty much everything I said last night. But I'm pretty sure you can come in and you can put your spin on it. So
Knox scored 20. So Knox scored 20 last night.
He had 16.
Oh, so okay.
But I said between 15 and 16. I said no less than 15.
And you also said three threes, so you nailed that.
I said at least 3 threes.
You nailed that. Absolutely. You got to give props there, man.
Right. Well, the audio and video last night contradicts what you just said. So the audio has you on tape saying Knox is going to score 20.
I also said more than 15 though.
Oh, okay. So we was like just taking pot shots. Like he may score 30, he may score 20.
I think anywhere between 15 and 20 was a sound. Good. I mean, I'm not Nostradamus, but I was pretty much on the money with everything last night. The point is, he played a very good game. He was instrumental in the comeback. His shot finally fell. He was comfortable. He was confident out there. He played good D. He did everything you could ask Kevin Knox to do. And now he just has to go back out there and repeat that.
Right. Well, the recording from last night says showed that you said you can book it, you can take it to the bank that Kevin Knox is going to score 20 points. I'm so
sorry that he came up a 4-point shot.
Should I cut up the audio and put a video out for us?
If you're going to do that, you can take all the audio where I said more than 15 and at least 3 threes. Can you get that audio too?
No. Well, I mean,
because I said that last night too.
Well, we don't want to bring anybody's credibility into question, but this time last night, you told me that 20 points you can book it, and you named off wing players on the Cleveland Cavaliers roster that Knox could eat up, and he could get 20 easily. So that's on recording. Should we dig that up and put it out for us, or
So here's the thing. So I don't want to get.
or should we
I
just
don't want to get sidetracked. Did Kevin Knox play a good game tonight?
No, let me finish. I was going to say, or should we just say that you were right in the assumption that Kevin Knox will get into his bag, sooner more so than later, and this team right here is the team that he can do it against. Now, if we go that route, I'm with you. I would agree.
Yeah, I said that. I said Kevin. Because I asked Steven last night. I said, Steven, who are all the players that aren't really playing? He went down. I'm like, well, Kevin Knox should go off tonight. I said that too. I said there's no reason for Kevin Knox not to get off on the level of competition he's going to be playing against.
Agreed. I remember you saying that. I'm with you on that. But last night, I was like, hey man, listen, let's just keep things in perspective. You know what I mean? The teams that we're playing are trash. Let's just take the long term approach to it. And you were like, who's Dylan Windler? Remember that?
My whole thing about this is this. With Kevin Knox, it's more to do with himself than who he's playing with. Because Kevin Knox has to believe that he can go out and do the things that he's been working on. And like I said, the only thing Kevin Knox needs to do is see that first shot fall. And once he sees that first shot fall, then this is all uphill from there with him. Because with him, it's just mental.
Right.
And I hate to say that, but that's what it is. It's mental with Kevin Knox. So like I said, once he sees that first shot fall, because Kevin Knox is more than capable to hit 3, 4, 5 threes in a game. He's more than capable of doing that. He just needs to believe that he can and be consistent enough to do it on a night in and night out basis.
Right. I don't disagree with that. And when you said it last night, I didn't just disagree with it then. You know what I mean? My thing with Knox is this, and it's kind of like the same thing I said to Legion of Knicks podcast earlier on the Knicks Want to Drive. We have to get a balance on the roster. We can't expect Julius Randle to want to pass to other people when he knows they're not producing. The team looks a lot better when Randle passes the ball to other people that are producing. And what the pushback was, well, Julius Randle never gives the team the opportunity to do so. Well, I disagree with that because early in the game against the Cavs, you saw Julius Randle legit trying to do that, and nobody started producing until Kevin Knox got hot and R.J. Barrett came in and picked up some slack too. You know what I'm saying? Early on in the game, it looked like a disaster. We were down 18 and looked like we wasn't going to be able to generate offense from anywhere. You know what I mean? So Knox stepping up was clutch, and it goes towards their argument of Julius Randle should be more of a willing passer, right? But most people are more of a willing passer or become more willing when they see positive results from others, because a lot of us. And I'm going to say Stephen Fox and Kev included, a lot of us are grinders and feel like, the best way to succeed is for us to do it ourselves because we have a lot of a core belief of or a confidence in ourselves to accomplish stuff, right? But the thing is, when then people want to force you to pass off certain tasks to others, and without that trust of seeing success from others, you become less of a willing passer, right? Less willing to pass off stuff. Now with Kevin Knox stepping up tonight, you may see Randle do more of that because there's a belief that if I pass this thing, we can still be successful.
Yeah. Hey, Freeze, what was your thought about Quickley's impact on the game tonight?
I think he's got a long way to go.
No doubt.
A long way to go. So I don't want to rush it. And we didn't see the best Cleveland Cavaliers roster, right? Or team on the floor, and they're trash anyway. I'm just gonna say let's temper expectations just a little bit. Let's just say that glimmer of hope is just a glimmer, and then let's just bring them along slow. I'm thinking Quickley is going to be a solid contributor in 2 or 3 years. But the thing is I like the small sample size that I saw. He was aggressive, and I like that. So
Yeah, in the chat, just our live chat, greatest fans that anybody could ask for is saying that they see Quickley as becoming our Lou Williams.
Oh my God! Not after one game, man. Oh, okay. So Foxy, check this out. So our Lou Williams in what time frame?
They didn't say that. I'm only repeating what I didn't say it, but Travy Trav, and I can see in a few years him doing that. He's a young kid, but he can score different ways. He's instant offense in a lot of ways. But I was just interacting with our chat and just letting you know what their thoughts are, what their takeaway from the game was tonight.
Well, I think, and so the irony is, I don't see him being a Lou Williams type player. I think maybe a Lou Williams mentality, maybe, but not Lou Williams the player. And I know that sounds like trying to backtrack off of what was said, but I see Quick being a way better defender and having more size than Lou Williams.
Yeah, those long arms when the guy brings the ball up and he gets into that defensive stance, you see him swiping those hands, being disruptive, and I could see him in the passing lanes being disruptive. So yeah, absolutely, he's bigger than Sweet Lou.
Hey, Trav, I did watch the game. I watched probably early first quarter through halftime to about the 2-minute when we knew we were going to win the game. I jumped off and did thumbnails and did show prep. So once I knew the game was in the bag, I jumped off. So I didn't watch the last few seconds of it.
I'll say this: I feel sorry for Quickley because I can see all of the Frank lovers jumping on the Quickley bandwagon. And then if it doesn't go as fast as they want it to of his development, then people are going to get frustrated. That's what's going to happen. All the Frank lovers are going to become Quickley lovers.
Oh, wow.
And
that's a different take. I didn't think about that.
Because they just love, for some reason, that scrappy underdog kind of thing. And so they're just going to fall in love with Quickley like they fell in love with Frank. And if it does take 2 to 3 years, like Freezy said, then people are going to be in the same boat they're in with Frank right now. Wow. Oh, he needs to play. He needs to be on the court for 30 minutes. He needs da 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 da. And it's like, all right, you need to calm down.
I think I was writing some stuff on napkins earlier, just doing some show prep for Knicks Morning Drive. It'll be, of course, Knicks Morning Drive, 8:45 a.m. Make sure y'all tune in. Subscribe to the channel. Smash the like button. Shout out Foxy for doing a great job at night, and excuse me, and Kevin for holding us down. I looked on, man. It was like 10 people, and then I came back and it was 2. I didn't know what happened. I thought it was like a fire drill or something. I didn't know. So, but anyway, I was doing a little show prep, writing stuff on napkins, and my take was my thoughts were the complete opposite of Kev. Not saying that his were wrong. I was just writing down, my thoughts in the moment. And when I was writing my thoughts down, something occurred to me, like, what do we need Frank Ntilikina for if Kevin Knox can become consistent and Emmanuel Quickley can develop into a secondary playmaker? And when I thought about that, I knew that it would start World War III on YouTube, because the Frankers believe nobody else can play point guard, or the thought of us playing without Frank is a thought that they don't want to come to grips with. So what do y'all think about that?
My first comment, Freezy, when the first show first started was, Frank picked a very bad time to have an injury.
Right.
Because
and also it's an Achilles, which is a weird, that's, you got to be real careful with that.
Right.
Because the last thing Frank wanted to do was to be out and have the second unit and the guards like DSJ and Quickley to play the defense that they played that resulted in a win. Because if DSJ and DSJ and Quickley can play that type of defense, you're right. What do we need Frank for?
What do we need Frank for? Right.
Yeah, and Freezy's touched on this, that his threes and everything, it's highly overrated because there's hardly any attempts.
Right.
I told you the other day, I was cracking up in the middle of the daytime when I thought that when Ron was like, Julius looked Frank off in the corner and he was hot. And I was like, he hit one shot. And it's like, that goes to show the love that people have for Frank when hitting one shot is being hot.
Yeah, that was classic. I smiled at you. I thought we had a thing like, yo, man, that was one shot. He's hot. Come on.
Yeah, like he hit one shot and now he's hot. That just goes to show the level of expectation for Frank Ntilikina's offense. He can hit one shot and he's the hottest thing on the floor. You got to keep feeding him.
Right. Right. And so my thing is without. So the thing I fear most with having a show on YouTube and having people come on, I think sometimes we get in this knee-jerk mode where the last event that happens is projected forward on the future, instead of us being present, right? So somebody would see Kevin Knox score 16 points, right, and assume Kevin Knox is a 16 point per game scorer going forward, right? I don't want to do that, and I'm not shading Knox. I'm not shading Knox.
No, you're just keeping it real.
Right.
You touched on the beautiful point that he's 16 points against a third-level Cavaliers team with all their stars out.
Right. And so what I would say to Kevin Knox, though, is welcome to the party, but the party is just starting, right? So we need to get this on a consistent basis, right? We need to maybe not 16, maybe we should aspire to 12. You know what I'm saying? Anything over 12, anything over 11 for Knox. Say as a guy coming off the bench or whatever role he plays is something that we should say, hey man, you met your median goal. Oh, anything over this is good if it's efficient. You know what I'm saying? Let's just see if we can maintain a balance here, and then in year 4 maybe we can up that to 15, maybe. You know what I'm saying? But our expectation should be, we want you to be a consistent contributor on a nightly basis, not just with the 3 ball, but in all other aspects of your game. That's what I would want from Knox.
This is where I disagree, and maybe it's just because my standards are just sky high for Kevin Knox, and this is the reason why I say my standards are high for Kevin Knox. One, this is his 3rd year. I can see if you were saying it and he was a rookie, or maybe his 2nd year. And also, they brought in a coaching staff. Not even a coach. They brought in Kenny Payne. You can say there's a bunch of Kentucky guys on this roster, but I really, really feel that they brought in Kenny Payne specifically for Kevin Knox. Because if you go back to way before Kenny Payne was even hired, he had that article, he had an interview with somebody, and Kenny Payne was like the biggest Kevin Knox fan. Like, he was the biggest Kevin Knox supporter. He said, give him a clean slate, give him a coaching staff that believes in him, and you're going to see a different Kevin Knox. And just by sheer happenstance, they sent to hire the same coach that said this about Kevin Knox.
Right.
And so my thing is this: Kevin Knox is a shooter. In his mind, he is a shooter. And so if you give Kevin Knox 10 shots a game, just a minimum 10, and I think he took 8 shots tonight. If you give Kevin Knox 10 shots, and he's consistently hitting his jump shot. There's no reason on God's green earth why Kevin Knox can't get more than 10 a night. Like 10 should be like the bare minimum that Kevin Knox should be getting. Because when Kevin Knox is hitting his shot, he is exactly what this team needs. Because Kevin Knox to me is still a better and smaller sample size, but I still think potential-wise, he's still a better shooter than Burks and Bullock. And so he gives you that. He's more athletic than them. And if you mention, I don't know if you got this earlier, Freezy, about when I said that him and Obi took a picture today.
Right.
And Knox is taller than Obi. So Knox is like 6'10" now, probably. So he's exactly what this team needs. He just needs to be able to go out there on a consistent basis mentally. Because like I've always said, he has the tools to do it. He just mentally has to do it. And like I said, once he sees that first shot go in, it's all uphill for Kevin Knox.
I understand what you're saying. I think you missed my point. That you said at least 10, but I said 11 points. I said 11.
No. What I'm saying 11. Is
no. Wait. 11 is more than 10.
Yeah, no. This is what I'm saying.
Secondly, what I'm saying is we need to improve in other areas too. Because like you just said, when Kevin Knox sees that shot go in, what if that shot doesn't go in? What else is Kevin Knox going to do?
But here's the thing. If you remember...
Kev, let me finish.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Let me finish. I know you're excited, but let me finish. So what I'm saying is if he is indeed taller than Obi, like you said, say if he is 6'10", then why is he only getting 4 rebounds and limited in the time he's on the floor? So I'm saying if with Knox, let's just temper expectation. I understand the thing about the coaching staff, but what we want to do is get a level of consistency. Like for instance, like the Knicks at Night podcast, right? People trust us because we're consistent. Like even if the personalities and the live stream change, they know we're going to be here at 11:45. We're going to be consistent. We're generally going to go to about 3 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? We're consistent. We're generally going to listen to the chat and have people have their say. And even if we don't agree, we're still going to legit speak to people. And so there's a level of consistency and people can trust us. The thing with Knox, if that shot doesn't fall, how can we trust him? Is what I'm getting at. So if that shot's not falling, can Knox get to the line? Can he get more rebounds? Can he play make and get more assists? Can he pick up his level of defense and be a consistent stopper on the defensive end at 6'10" with all that length? That's what I'm asking. I'm not knocking your boy. I'm saying if the shot, say for like with me and Foxy, sometimes we get on and the topics that we want to talk about get derailed because the home team advantage want to talk about something else, right? We don't force that on them. We're like, hey man, let's just let this thing be organic and let it flow. That's what I'm saying with Knox. If your shot's not falling, then what else are you gonna do? You have to have some kind of you have to have a level floor across the board is what I'm getting at.
Let me counter that. And as Stephen alluded to earlier, in the first half, his shot wasn't falling, but you didn't see him check out. He was still active on defense. He was still going after. He didn't mope or pout or anything. He has yet to take, in my opinion, a bad shot. Even the shots he missed in the first half were still good looks. I think a couple of them rimmed out.
Exactly. I was about to say they rimmed out a couple.
So, but also this, even when his shot was falling, in the second half, he got there was 2 or 3, the 4 rebounds he got through them were back to back. And then that one beautiful outlet pass to RJ. He was playmaking, he rebounded, he defended. And I'm just saying that he did those along with his shot falling. See, people want to say, oh, what if his shot isn't falling? What else is he going to be doing? My thing is, he's put in so much work getting his shot. He already came in as a shooter. So why are we automatically assuming that he isn't going to shoot well moving forward on a consistent basis? And I think that's the disconnect, because people are just have the mindset, oh, he's just not going to shoot well. And then if he's not shooting well, what is he going to do? My thing is, if he does continue to shoot well, he can still continue to be the playmaker, rebounder, and defender. Because like Thibodeau has always said, like I think he mentioned earlier today, he wants to see Kevin Knox aggressive on both ends of the floor, because he knows the offense will be there with Kevin Knox. So while you say the bar is low, let's get 11, my bar is like, we're going to shoot for at least 16 every night. Because I want you, Kevin Knox, to be the third, because talent-wise, he is, on the offensive side, one of the better players we have.
Right.
He has natural talent, no doubt about it. Especially, on the offensive ball, offensive side of the ball, the kid has had talent. It just needs, like you said, that consistency. But we also need, like we saw tonight, somebody to put him in his spot so he can be successful.
Right. And so what I'm getting with Kev about is, we're talking about what happened last night, right? But we didn't have this conversation Sunday night when Knox was missing in action. And we didn't have this conversation last Friday night when Knox was missing in action. What I'm saying is, you can't just go by tonight and assume he's here, he's arrived. You know what I'm saying?
First, I have this conversation every night. Well, I have this conversation every night with Kevin Knox.
Well,
so
okay. that may be true, but I don't. I don't. So the thing is, if we go by just, and because it sounds like we become prisoners of the moment. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm not saying you, Kev. I'm saying just overall, we don't want to be prisoners of the moment. Like when one good thing happens, we project them to the Hall of Fame. We don't want to do that yet. Like we don't want to say Quickley. We don't want to say Quick is the point guard of the future yet. We just want to say, you know what, he had a good outing. Let's prepare ourselves for the ups and downs. Let's just be patient with the kid and watch him progress in front of our eyes. It's like with me and Miss Mocha, like when we buy plants, it's like, do we want to buy the seeds in a big flower pot and then, go through the process of watching it bud and bloom and all that stuff? Or do we just want to walk in the back and just get the one that's already grown? You know what I'm saying? With the Knicks, what we should be doing is planting the seed and
nurturing it.
Right, and then watch it grow. Kind of like what me and Foxy are doing for the Knicks at Night podcast. We just legit, growing it, watching it, nurturing it, and watch it grow in front of our eyes. You know what I'm saying? It's a deal where for us, it's just better to do it this way, because for the Knicks, we can't just go by the plant that's already done. We can't just get the plant that's already bloomed. You know what I'm saying? We have to do it this way, even though we want to do it the other way. We're forced to do it this way. So instead of saying Quickley is a full-grown plant already, he's not, and neither is Knox. We just have to be patient. Yeah,
because strong roots take time.
Right.
I mean, are any of our kids, fully blossomed yet?
No. That's the point I'm getting at. No,
It's the patience he's saying for that to happen.
Right, and then Kev, also these kids are not growing at the same rate. Just because we're in a rebuild doesn't mean all these kids are going to be growing and getting better at the same time at everything. You know what I'm saying? Like all the kids are not going to shoot 40% at the same time. You know what I'm saying? We have to kind of groom these kids and not overreact when something positive happens, because then when something negative happens, it feels like we have to blame somebody, and we shouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? We should just look at this thing and be patient with it.
Yeah. I'm hold on one second.
While you're doing that, just a quick shout out to the chat. We're at 838 subscribers. Again, congratulations, Freeze. We're up to 99 likes tonight. Let's hit that 100 mark. Thanks again to the greatest mods in the world. Sima Bodega Wi-Fi and New York Knicks. We really appreciate it. Please hit that like, subscribe, and reminder buttons. We got to support our boy Freezy. Let's make this happen.
Freezy have 1,000 before the new year.
Well, we'll see how things go. We want to make sure that we do it organically. Make sure that we let everybody know that the Knicks, that this is a family affair. You know what I'm saying? We grew it from, I think we have like 750 subs in 28 days, right? We want to make sure all 750 of those and the ones before know that we do this show for them. You know what I'm saying? And for those that have not subscribed yet, that watch, because I watch our conversion. So our conversion rate is like 48%. So it's like 48% of the people that click on it and watch it for a little while subscribe, which to me is like amazing. Because usually it's like 28%. Because people click on it and either they like it or they don't, and they move on. But 48% is like batting 500 in baseball for a whole season. It's crazy. You know, so shout out to everybody that supports and likes our content and contributes, especially the contributors, because you may not contribute in the live stream, but if you contribute in the virtual stream, or share it, or comment, or hit the like button, or subscribe, man, you've done a ton for the show, helping it grow. So
Pay it forward. Yeah.
So shout out to everybody that contributes, whether you consider it to be big or small. Any contribution is we thankful for it.
Just real quick, just a shout out to so many people that support us. IQ Andre Bryan, who's always here. George Alvernia. Hey George, man, you're what are you in contest with Freezy for not sleeping? You're with Freezy in the morning on the morning drive. You're in other shows, and that you're here at night, brother. You better get some sleep. But thank you for your support, Sean Kearns, Sirhan the Man, For Real CEO, Trini in Harlem, Bruce Miller. Thank you all. For Real CEO. Really, really appreciate your support, and we work really, really hard to, make this show as entertaining for you as possible. And also, it's your show. That's why we interact, get your feedback, and this is a family. We want everyone. As Freezy was saying, the vibe is just, it's different than going to those sterile shows that are on the big networks. This is your show. This is your thoughts, your voice. So thank you so much. D-Chan also. Don't want to forget you, man.
D-Chan in the building.
That's what we're waiting for, my brother.
Hey, the sausages in the building was good. Sirhan was good. George Alvernia.
George, you're happening, man.
Was good. I see you, IQJ. Was good. I see you. Hey, Sean Kearns. I see you. Hey, Sean Kearns said, hey, the show helps to get through the night. Me too, brother.
Hey, Freezy, you want to hear some magic?
What's that?
With a blink, we're up to 106 likes. That's powerful. That's powerful, man. You got magic, my friend.
Yo, that is I'm laughing because I'm laughing at that because it's so hard to get likes on YouTube because you legit, somebody has to make a decision. You know what I'm saying? Like they make it's like the decision chain. Like they make the decision to click on the video. They make the decision to stay on the video for whatever amount of time they feel like staying. And then you ask them to also make a decision about subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting, all these different things. And people get here and they do it organically. It's like they get here, they like it, they subscribe and hit the like button.
And we got the best mods in the world.
The best minds in the world. And I think some of it has to do with the topics, but most of it has to do with the secret sauce to this show is the home field advantage. It's the video chat and the virtual chat is the home field advantage. I mean, people legit. I mean, these people are incredible, man.
Can I just say something to the live stream? Yes, young Simba, I gloated for quite some time tonight. I'm still gloating, so you haven't really missed that much. But yeah,
And you deserve to gloat, man.
you know.
I respect somebody who's a fan. You know, I really respect that, Kevin. That's your guy, man, and that's what you call loyalty. And you know, and you called it. I'm glad he had a good night, and let's hope it's the start of many more to come.
I caught a little bit of the show this morning, Freezy.
Fire.
And I appreciate someone had brought up that we killed Knox, and he was just like, you know, Kevin Wright goes to war for Kevin Knox. And I was like, I just want to tell you that I appreciate the shout out like that. And people don't realize, like, I've only been doing this, how long, like 2 weeks now? About two weeks?
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. And so I'll be in other. I just watch other chats and I might join in. Like I've done Ron's like once or twice, but even when I'm not on,
right,
people will mention me and bring me up, and I'm just like, it's kind of a little bit overwhelming to me. It's kind of like mind-boggling. Like I'm not even on, and people are mentioning me in other chats and streams and things, and it's just this show is it means a lot to people. People really like it, and because I remember earlier I was like, man, I was watching Guillermo's podcast, and they were like, man, I can't wait for 11:45 to hear Kevin Wright go off.
Yeah.
The famous started.
Like, wow, okay. So people really watch this show. They really like it.
Yeah, and it's because basically your character.
You're breaking up, Freeze.
Yeah, you're breaking up.
Me and Foxy and you.
Can you hear us?
Yeah,
you sound like you're in an auto tune. You're breaking up.
Oh, how about now?
Better, thank you.
Okay. Let me do something real quick.
I guess he'll be back.
Yeah.
But no, so we have I guess moving forward, we have one more game against that's at the Gardens too, right?
Yes.
So we have one more game at the Garden. I guess what are you expecting to see, Steven? Friday.
Well, it depends on if some of those guys, Kevin Love and Sexton, are going to play. If it's going to be a different game if those quality players hit the court. So, which is good. We want that competition to bring it out. But I really think that even with the guys with so many of their starters not playing tonight, I think there was an adrenaline shot to Kevin. You know, I'm looking at it as taking baby steps and positive that the kid's going to sleep with a smile on his face tonight and he's going to come back. Even DSJ, you know, he played a fantastic defensive game. If you could take something positive out of your performance, that's what development's all about. So I think we're going to go into that game with a positive thought, and we're going to have some bad games. But as long as they learn from that game, every game that they go back the next morning, they watch that film, they see the good parts where, you know what, I missed my place there, or I saw that guy was open and I missed him. You know, let the kids look. So getting back to your thing, I think it's gonna, be a different game because it's the last game before the season starts. So I think everybody's gonna just leave it on the court to just try to make an impression.
So our first game after tomorrow, our first game is Wednesday, right? The 23rd.
Yeah.
So we'll have about 5 days off in between the end of the preseason, the first game of the regular season. So by then, I'm pretty sure Austin Rivers will be back. I still don't think he's going to play on Friday. He'll probably make his debut the first game against Indiana.
He's a proven commodity, so why?
To me, I want to see how Tibbs adjusts to the lineups, if he's gonna, because a lot of things, I'm not gonna say fell into place with Nerlens being out, with Burks being out, uh, Frank being out. A lot of things fell into place. You could say, would we have been in the hole that we were in if we had had those players? I don't know. I do know that Tibbs, when he saw the kids have the momentum they had, he said, okay, I'm not going to pull them because they deserve to close out the game. Win or lose, they deserve to close out the game.
They came back from that, 22 point turnaround.
So I think he's like, I'm just going to roll with them because something in my heart would have told me, had the momentum kind of died out earlier, they probably would have put Julius and Elford back in. But I guess because they played the entire the only one who didn't play the entire fourth quarter was RJ. But Quickley, Knox, and Obi were out there the entire fourth quarter. From I want to say about 2 or 3 minutes in the third, and all of the fourth quarter they were in the game. So that says a lot about the trust that they had. Because remember earlier in the day, Tibbs also said, it's not about starting isn't as important as who finishes the game, depending if you're in the game or not. Mm-hmm. And so we had so much momentum building up and building up and building up through the fourth quarter that he left them out there. So if Alec Burks was healthy and Kevin Knox wasn't hitting shots, so Alec Burks had been in the game, we had pulled Kevin out, or if Quickley was ineffective, would he have gone back to Elford? If fans were in the stands, would that have changed the outcome? Would the kids have, tightened up?
Yeah,
and that's one thing.
I think on that one, the answer is yes.
But it's good. Here's the thing: at some point in time, there will be fans back in the stands. Sometime this season, there will be fans in the stands. It may not be a packed. So? Yeah. It probably
I'm getting worried that because they're saying that that the vaccine is not going to be available probably to the April-May timeframe. So I think for the general population.
Well, here's the thing. Like I said, the first half of the schedule is until March, right? So we still haven't even had the second half of the schedule be released. And so you look at that, it may, like I said, we're not going to have packed arenas, depending on where you are. But I think right now there's still arenas that allow fans in there. Some depending on where you are. So as we move forward, there will be, but it depends. If it's game 50, and you have 1,000 people in the Garden or something, the first game that fans are back or something, just throwing a number out there. You have 50 games under your belt, so you kind of know the kind of season that you're having. So at that point in time, I don't think fans in the Garden will be a detriment or anything. Because I've already Kevin Knox, if he's won the starting role, if he's putting up good numbers, I don't think it's going to affect him at that point in time. And then coming into the season, and you have a packed arena, so you got to look at it that way too.
Yeah. Hey, Freezy, you back?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're getting close to that time. Your brother here is beat. I did three rounds of shoveling today, and and you can't tell that I did any. I have a whole lot to go. So wish me luck tomorrow and stuff.
All right. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Hey, good luck with that, man. Hey, and shout out to Foxy too for holding it down, man. The Knicks at Night podcast is super dope. Super dope. Right. I mean, legit super dope.
The team thing.
Yeah. And hopefully this dude will come back, man. So I saw him today. We saw him today, so I'm thinking he'll be back.
Who?
But
the person that Freezy's covering for.
Oh.
So a dude. So without getting too in depth, basically a dude slipped on a banana peel at work, right? And so I'm covering for him until he gets back, and so we're hoping he gets back soon, so I can get back on, with get back on with our, with the guys and stuff. So, but anyway, so this probably is as good a point as any to kind of wrap things up, man, and so we can move. I guess so we can stop hearing Kev spam us to death about Kevin Knox. Maybe we can get a break for a few hours.
That's how good his performance was. We have 3 hours of Knox talk.
3 hours and 5 minutes and 4 seconds.
Right. Yeah. So let's get out of here, man, and let this home field advantage get some sleep, get some rest,
and get fresh for that morning drive tomorrow. Because God bless you, man. Just kudos every day. It's hot.
Yeah. We're trying, and it's because of that home field advantage, man. The virtual chat is the greatest. I think it's the greatest one going. So, but anyway, y'all subscribe to the channel, like, comment, share. What else? Y'all do all those things to help the family grow. Because what we want to do, like I say every night, there's a lot of Knicks fans. There are millions, hundreds of millions of people using YouTube and Google, and there are millions and millions of Knicks fans, right? And a lot of people are looking for content just like this. And so what we are looking for them, and they are looking for us. So by putting ourselves out there to be seen, they'll find us, and we can grow this family. That's our goal. Having a place where Knicks fans can come and vent, right? So by just do all that stuff so we can continue to grow the show. I want to thank everybody that contributes. We really appreciate it. This thing really gets me going. I was listening to the chat and listening to the show, and it kind of got me going as a fan. So thanks for everybody for contributing, and I'm out of here, and I will see y'all later on.
God bless everyone. We'll talk to you soon.
Everyone. See you
we really appreciate all your support. Have a good one. Go Knicks.
Let's go Knicks.